pit road, and drivers about to climb into their cars and get ready for 200 laps here at the Magic Mile. Austin Dillon, double duty this weekend, taking it on. We'll be back for the command to fire engines next.
Oh, great. We get twice as much Austin Dillon this weekend. Just what everyone wanted. Is he going to underachieve and underperform in this car too? Nah, surely not. Where's my stream? I want to make sure it's working. Do I hear my annoying voice on my stream? Yep. So we got a problem. I'll reload NASCAR.com and see if it's still doing it, but the leaderboard's not working. It says it's a page that doesn't exist. So I'm real curious as to what the fuck that's about. Now it's not even an option to click on it, which I find interesting. Hello? 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 Click, click, click. Hello? Page cannot be found. So the NASCAR.com leaderboards are down. Follow live. Is there like anything I can put up on the fucking screen here? Please. Maybe we'll try it from here. Hey, I'm right clicking. Yeah, look at that. Right click. Isn't that nice? Why is this shit running like this? Well, yeah, I'm trying to get to the fucking, whatchamacallit. NASCAR.com, very helpful today. Page cannot be found. Okay. That's cool. No big deal. We just won't have anything to show.
Before we get to command, let's get a few more stories before they fire the engines. We'll start off with Dave.
One of the guys you want to keep your eye on today is Chandler Smith. Rick qualifying
Page not found.
For the second week in a row in the 16 car. He is very, very quick, but this is his first time ever at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And we've talked all weekend about what a tricky place this is. So for this young 21-year-old from South Carolina, or from Georgia, excuse me, he needs to get some advice. And so where did he go? Christopher Bell, friend of his, someone he can trust.
Hold on, what's that fucking race monitor?
Kim Kuhn.
Well, Josh Berry is still looking for his first win of the 2023 season. And when I talked
I wanted to click live timing. My mouse is cooperating today.
A win is definitely a priority, but equally as important.
You hear that? Winning is a priority.
This team wants to work on building consistency, which they have not had recently. In 3 of the last 4
It's Xfinity Series on this fucking website.
Or worse. So again, looking to turn a page here. He has track position to start.
Doesn't
He'll
look
roll
like
up
it.
in a 3rd position, Marty. We'll see what he can do to keep that track position throughout the course of this race.
Well, Kim, a moment ago, you heard us talking about in the pre-race show, Cole Custer has been on a roll lately, and I asked his crew chief,
I guess it's
a
not.
moment ago earlier today, what's made the difference in the last few races for you guys? He said, honestly, early in the season, we were trying to hit home runs with every adjustment we made on the car, everything that we did to the car, and we had a meeting in late March and said, hey, let's calm down. Let's get base hits during the race. And from that moment on, in early April at Richmond, we've really been one of the best cars in the Xfinity Series garage, and especially at a place like New Hampshire.
Trying to find something to show.
One of the best cars on short run speed. Cole Custer is one here in K&N, one here in trucks, and finished second in Xfinity. He wants to get his 3rd New Hampshire win today, Rick.
Thanks, Marty. All right, Steve, he mentioned short runs. The stages are 45-45. Are those short runs, Steve?
Well, they're short runs here. You know, the fuel window is almost 80 laps, so 45 laps is a short run. But like I tell Jeff Burton every time, in every long run, there's a short run. Give me a short run car, good on the restarts, get that track position, force somebody else to run you down.
You can gain stage points if the top 10 of each stage, and that's what drivers are going to be looking for.
Is this leaderboard? Hold on, let me change the size of my screen. Be better suited for this leaderboard. My computer will cooperate with me today.
Senior advisor to the CEO of Centene Corporation, Brent
Okay.
Layton.
Hello, Xfinity racing fans, and welcome to the Magic Mile.
Just get to it, fuckhead.
On behalf of Better Health Insurance, providing quality health insurance.
Nobody cares.
Throughout this great country, I have one thing to say: drivers, start your engine!
Yippee.
Engines are fired out on pit road, Jeff, but me and you, we're standing on the racetrack. We got to bring the fans some important information. One of the toughest things
Important
about
info,
New
it's hot.
Hampshire are the grooves and the seams on the outside of the grooves. We stand on the highest seam right here. There's 3 lanes of asphalt on this racetrack that's actually newer. That's where you're going to see the guys try to run. If they get on this seam, though, they're in trouble.
Yeah, this seam is deep. It goes down about 3 inches deep, and it's probably 2 inches wide. New asphalt, old asphalt, there's different grip from one to the other. You can cross this seam, but when you do it, you better be going straight across it. If you get your right rear tire, left rear tire, right front tire stuck on it, sometimes it never leaves it, and your car cannot get rotated. These seams are visual for the drivers. It lets them know where they want to be on the racetrack, but also, if not done properly, it can hamper them.
We'll be seeing a lot of passes happen because of the trouble they have with these seams. But coming up next, here for the Xfinity Series, the green flag.
It's a privilege.
Hola. We have a shitty leaderboard because the NASCAR.com one's not working today. It says the page doesn't even exist. Oh yeah, remember when Sammy Smith won a race this year? I kind of forgot that was a thing. And Chandler Smith won a race too.
today.
And Daniel Hemrick should have won last week, but way to go, Justin Haley.
Only 9 races until the playoffs. Can someone win their way into those playoffs? It's NASCAR Xfinity Series racing from New Hampshire. And Better Health 200.
And Bitter Hill 200. Hopefully it'll be 200 laps. There could be rain later. Which, I mean, they'll race on a wet track, but...
Dial him up on the radio.
All right, let's give him a shot here. Hey, Justin, boys in the NBC booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
All right, Justin, you're the only one in the field that has conquered the Magic Mile and found victory lane. Tell the fans at home, how do you unlock this very tricky...
Wow, Justin Allgaier's the only active New Hampshire Xfinity Series winner in this race.
That's what makes this place fun, but also difficult is just how hard it is to kind of manage the whole day. Making sure that you got 4 fenders on it at the end, but, track position is so important. You got to go for
Hey, the leaderboard's up. At least it's trying to be. I gotta change the size of my screen again. Yeah, if this thing ever lets me. My computer's running slow today for some reason.
We'll go have some fun. But it's my wife's birthday tomorrow, so I feel like I probably am going to walk home if I don't bring some home from the hardware. So you might see a little motivation today to get her a trophy.
All right, like it. Sounds like a pretty good birthday gift. Good luck. We'll be watching.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Obviously, you'll be watching. It's your job, Steve.
I can get my wife a trophy for her birthday. That would be spectacular.
Well, it's all fun and games till you don't.
You promised me a trophy, you fucking asshole.
All right,
Nah, his wife's not like that.
Roll across the bottom of your screen. Chandler Smith and John Hunter Nemechek. They will be making up row number 1. And Dave, who do you want to shine a spotlight on before we get the green flag?
That'd be row number 5, Austin Dillon, and young Sam Mayer, the 20-year-old from Wisconsin. He's in the playoffs on points, with just 46 points to the good over the cut line. There are 9 races to go before the playoffs. He's had 3 top 5s in the last 5 races. Can't take his foot off the gas pedal now. Sam's got to stay on it, Kim.
Well, Dave, speaking of Sam's, it was a great day yesterday for Sammy Smith, who was fastest in practice, but the team got to the garage today, and there was a huge puddle of fluid under the car. They found an oil leak. They were able to get it fixed this afternoon, but they'll have to drop to the tail of the field at a track, Marty, where it is known to be very tough to pass.
Kim, it's a big day for his
and it's a
teammate,
short
Joe
race,
Graf Jr.,
so
who
chop
worked
chop.
so hard to get 6 races with Joe Gibbs Racing in this 19th.
Yeah, Joe Graf Jr.'s in the 19 today. Expect a 20th place run at best. Nah, 15th. Well, we'll give him 15th. He's driving a Joe Gibbs car. Surely even he can run 15th.
Between Xfinity and Cup. So Jason knows how to get it done. The car will be good. Can Joe Graf Jr. follow through on his part? That's the big question. Now let's go to the Peacock Pit Box. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the Hall of Famer, Dale Jarrett.
DJ, right around this part of the year, we start looking at the playoffs and who is right around that bubble battle, who needs to win, who won't be able to point their way in. That's the pressure that starts to ramp up for these drivers heading into the next several races.
Yeah, you've got to get it done. You've been talking all year, well, we're getting better. Well, now you've got to ramp that up. You've got to capitalize when the opportunities are there. Someone like Brandon Jones, good starting position, he's got to get the job done today.
Chad Fincham's in this race. Oh, my God, look out.
He needs a solid effort to make sure that he maximizes a points day. A lot of pressure on these drivers today.
Absolutely. Starting today, Rick, paying attention to that bubble line and that battle for those drivers trying to punch their ticket to the playoffs.
Thanks, Junior. And we'll be checking in with the 2 DJs down there throughout the race. As the field now beginning to line back up 2 by 2, they'll be right behind the Toyota GR Supra.
Is that a Supra?
Pace car leading the field as the official pace car here at New Hampshire for today's race. They'll be coming up on 1 to go. Steve, I mentioned 45 laps for stage 1 and stage 2. Very quick. What kind of strategy comes into play here?
Well, the strategy for the Xfinity Series is pretty straightforward. Stage 1.
This is your reminder that stage cautions in the Xfinity Series are really stupid. I mean, they're stupid in any series, but especially in this series.
Do you put tires on? For me, you look right here, fuel mileage 70-80 laps. That's what I was talking about in that final stage. The big thing is, we talk about how difficult the track is. One of the challenges here is passing, which makes the restarts more important. But there may not be a slicker track on cold tires. Something about this asphalt, we saw what Dale Jr. and Jeff Burton pointed out with those seams. Well, they're easy to avoid by yourself and do everything that the 2 drivers told us to do by crossing over them nice and straight. But now, 2 wide, 3 wide, we'll see cars on the apron. It's very difficult to make positions. And an error can cost you a ton of spots because they all know how hard they are to get.
Getting the one to go. Well, actually, no. The lights are still on the pace car for some fucking reason.
Normally the lights would go off on the pace car.
Why didn't they?
Told one to go. They are still on, so I'm not sure if we're going
Oh,
racing
okay.
yet.
We have one car looks like getting caught up to the back of the field.
So we should have gotten the one to go there, but we didn't, because we love to waste time.
Not only that, but saw the 16 of Chandler Smith. He decided he wanted to be on the outside, so he went around that Toyota Supra pace car.
Oh, now the lights are off.
Lights are off.
Burn tomorrow, and if he gets it wrong, he better not come back to the booth.
So we are going green this time.
Let's listen in to Josh Berry's radio.
All right, man, he's done a great job all day yesterday. We appreciate being up there and you're great at this short track stuff, man. So we'll follow you as far as track trends, which way let's go, and we'll just keep adjusting on this thing. We'll try to keep you up there all day. Season 4.
I agree with the crew chief. I agree with Taylor Moore. You know, Josh Berry, while this is a 1 mile track bigger than your local short track, it races like one. And I think all of those skill sets have made him so
The old New Hampshire races like a short track conversation again.
find that preferred lane for his car.
It's hot and slick. Hopefully Monday when the Cup race happens, it'll still be hot. It's supposed to be 90 degrees Monday, so we should get a good Cup race. And we should get a good one today for as long as it might last. Green flag. John Hunter spun the tires there, kind of forced Josh Berry to go underneath him. Maybe slightly before start finish. Nemechek loose into turn one. We're not even at speed yet, and the 20 cars loose. Chandler Smith's out front.
All the way down the apron, using all of the track available and then some. I think that's the 11 of Hemrick all the way on the inside there.
Chandler Smith, Justin Allgaier.
The top 4 into turn 3.
See if we can complete a lap without somebody losing it. This race was pretty eventful last year.
Already fighting not only the lead, but now he's
Chandler Smith leads lap
a little
one.
bit of pressure behind him for that second spot. John Hunter Nemechek dropped back to the third spot. He's using the apron. Shortest way around this racetrack, but also
Allgaier going for the lead down the back.
once again, the
Got
seven
really
to the
close.
inside, trying to take the top spot away from Chandler
To the
Smith.
left rear of the 16. Takes it. Easy pass.
Now he just has to be careful not to slide up too much and allow the 16 to pull a crossover. He was able to shut the door. That should comfortably give him the lead.
So Allgaier out front. Smith running second. Nemechek and Josh Berry the top 4. Cole Custer in fifth.
You see the battle on the bottom of your screen. Sam Mayer in that blue number 1. Parker Kligerman.
Top 3 cars running completely different lines. Nemechek on the apron, Chandler Smith on the bottom, and Allgaier middle of the racetrack there.
NASCAR's taking a peek at the start.
They're looking at the start because John Hunter spun the tires and Josh Berry kind of got underneath him.
Once again,
Now they say it's all good.
Now fighting back, but he's got John
Nemechek's got it gathered up and underneath him now.
Now Chandler Smith in that
A lot of passing in this top 5 early.
Trying to continue to defend his outside position or just let the 20 go and try to pull in line by the 8. I think the 8 might be too close. Oh, he's
Custer looking under Berry.
attack as well. A 0-0 of Cole Custer. That kind of hurt the 8's ability to turn left and have that low exit off turn 2.
Look at that nice wide shot where you can see like 8 cars in one frame. Take notes of that, Fox, if you're watching.
Drivers will be taking Cole Custer once again.
Berry loose off of 4. Custer's going to pass him here into 1.
There you go. That was the voice of Joey Myers, you pointed out. And while Joey has a lot of experience, it's still going to sound different. The inflection, the information, how it's delivered. You know, at a track, most of it, this is better than super speedway, but still in those close proximity racing areas right there on the restarts when you're in close quarters, that information is crucial.
Allgaier has a little over 2 second or 2/10 of a second lead.
2-second lead as you see Nemechek on his bumper. Nemechek had a bad start, but I think he's got the best car. It's coming to him pretty quick here.
As I talked to John Hunter about this, I think
Gonna get our 3rd different leader here in the first 10 laps.
Richmond, and I kind of got on the wrong side of the pit strategy. He knows how good of a car he
Custer
has.
passes Chandler Smith for 3rd. Nemechek just stays out of the 7.
Lead and a battle for 3rd.
Hard battle for the lead.
Out front, John Hunter Nemechek.
Allgaier still leads there.
Right on the driver's side door.
They're driving away from the field, running side by side.
Allgaier using that second line perfectly.
And you see how he rolls that middle corner speed. He gives the 20 more than enough room, But he
rum.
takes
He
that
gave him rum.
exit, the 20 just
Is he
cannot
drunk?
power down. Now the 7 clears him. He's going to open that whole bottom up. That's total trust. Allgaier is going to get
Little nudge.
to the 20, and as I say that
20 gets loose as he goes back down to the bottom. Allgaier loose off a 4, and Custer's catching them both now. That was a bad lap for both of them. Running hard here for the lead. You know, it's hard to pass here, and it's a short stage. Damn, Allgaier almost hit the wall. Almost.
While these two are fighting for that top spot, Cole Custer, the 0-0. A lot of momentum for that 0-0.
Allgaier's got good speed running the middle part of the track, better than any car in the field right now. It's keeping him out front.
That just shows that experience that
Led that lap too.
that takes a lot of experience to defend that top lane. That's what makes him so good at these tracks. Because now John Hunter's instantly not just out the windshield.
Loose, and Custer pulls up to him.
Will he try to go 3 wide?
Custer with nowhere to go. He got to both their bumpers.
And now the 20.
And Allgaier's going to go wide here and give the lead to the 20. Yeah, loose, sideways. Nemechek out front. 3 leaders and 10 laps. We made it.
And that makes the 20's job so much easier. Now,
Custer falls back in line behind Allgaier.
Trying to get away from the 7.
Nemechek out front. First lap sled. I knew what I was doing. I'll let you and Justin Allgaier say that. John Hunter Nemechek, first lap sled here at New Hampshire in the Xfinity Series.
Brandon Jones in the 11, that white and colorful number 11.
Brandon Jones in the 9.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking Daniel Hemrick behind him in the 11. If I said the name, it would make more sense, Rick. It did.
Marty, how about that 7?
Well, you guys heard the radio transmission from Justin Allgaier. That was Eddie DeHunt saying, cool yourself down here because the 0-0's
Ain't going to have time to cool down. Custer's charging again.
What I was doing there. So the long run was really the specialty for the 7, but the 0-0 so good on the short run. That's where that speed's showing up now, Steve.
Yeah, and what they're talking about with cooling your stuff, it's not the engine, it's the actual tires. You can just work them a little bit harder. They lose a little grip. If you drive your car a little bit straighter, don't abuse them as much, the grip can come back.
So already,
Nemechek, Allgaier, Custer, Chandler Smith, Josh Berry.
Allgaier took the spot away.
See if Nemechek can hold on. Murphy burned his stuff up trying to pass Allgaier. Ooh, dropped my remote. I'm really good at dropping shit. Nobody hangs out in the Xfinity Series streams anymore. I should probably stop doing them. Whenever I stream trucks or Xfinity, it's pretty dead in here. Have to possibly look at cutting back on those like I'm cutting back on NFL shit this year. I'm cutting way back on streaming NFL stuff. Hopefully they're not racing the weather. I said there's like a 50-50 shot. They moved the start time of this race up 10 minutes. They had the option to move the start of the Cup race up tomorrow by an hour within 24 hours of the scheduled race, but they decided not to, and it's okay. It's not going to make a difference. If anything, it's going to rain more an hour earlier than when the race is supposed to start. So really no point in moving tomorrow's start time up.
It allows you to
Hopefully we'll find out pretty quickly in the morning that it's been put to Monday.
Cameras as well as radio broadcast. All you have to do is search NASCAR in your app store, and you can start a free trial today.
Still the same. Nemechek out front, pulling away.
John Hunter Nemechek and Allgaier. It was tightening up, but now John Hunter Nemechek.
Custer's cooled down. I thought Custer was going to pass them both.
Himself from second. Then it's Cole Custer back there in third. He's a little under a second behind Nemechek. Chandler Smith, the pole winner, has dropped back to fourth. Josh Berry holding on to a fifth place position. And a man on the move, Steve just mentioned, Sammy Smith has moved up to the 17th position, Kim.
That's right, Rick, and a great shot from the Toyota onboard camera of Sammy Smith. He has just made a steady ascent through the field, the biggest move.
Sammy should be good here. He won Phoenix. They're similar enough. He had to start in the rear. He's up to 17th.
Chief Jeff Mender, who told me this morning because of how well Sammy did earlier in the year at short track, specifically Phoenix where they won, and how fast they were in practice, they feel like they should be able to drive through to the top 10 before the end of stage 1, Marty.
That's going to be pushing it. Maybe he can get to 10th. Maybe.
Blue and white number 21 car right there on the outside trying to go around Austin Dillon. Talking to his crew chief, Andy Street, he said, you know, the short tracks have really been the weakest part of our entire program. But I feel like we took a decent step at Phoenix. If we might be in that championship four, we need to learn some things today that will help us there. A top 5 would be a huge step.
A Junior Motorsports car or a Gibbs car is going to win the championship. They've got a lockdown on this style of racetrack, Phoenix, New Hampshire. I'll throw Martinsville in there as well. The Xfinity Series playoffs are very JRM and Gibbs friendly.
How many times have you seen your driver doing things, trying things, and you can remind them just to regroup?
Well, it's tough because you want them searching. There's a lot a driver can do behind the lane to help, or behind the wheel to help lap time. You can run a straight kind of diamond situation. You can run the arc of the corner, but
Brandon Jones in a Junior Motorsports car is 65 points out of the playoffs. That is inexcusable. Got another Michael Annette on our hands. Hey, Allgaier's catching Nemechek again. Here comes part 2 of this battle.
What don't they learn about their race car? Because they're back there fighting traffic. He's pushing the car harder. Will they just make all the right adjustments? So far, so good, though, for the 18 on the bottom of your screen riding on board there. Justin Allgaier making a move at the top of the lead.
Yeah, see that long run speed showing up for Justin Allgaier. So we heard him say a few things on the radio. Take a listen.
Diamond is better. So I'm just playing the game here, boys. Good lap there. A little better than that. Yeah, I'm just studying at the moment. I know where he's weak.
So there you go. Are you cool?
Allgaier's looking to get this lead back. His windshield wipers flapping.
Well, I'm cool if my driver's just
a little bit.
He won here a year ago. He's won 20 Xfinity races in his career, so he knows what he needs behind the wheel. And it's interesting. He's taken that time to see what the 20, where they're good, where they're weak. I think the 7 knows that his car's not the best on new tires. Hang around and then look right here what it does on old tires. Just really rotates, points down the racetrack a little bit better.
I love his confidence. You know, I love the fact he said, hey, I'm just playing games, messing around, but this 20 is not going to be an easy pass. John Hunter is a
nothing at New Hampshire is an easy pass.
Really good equipment. Here goes Allgaier at the bottom, but just like we saw the race earlier, that 20 car is going to get better rear grip, running a little bit higher.
Allgaier raced John Hunter Nemechek really hard for the lead, and then once John Hunter Nemechek got out in front, it looked as though John Hunter Nemechek had a better car and was pulling away, but it sounds to me like Allgaier is just sizing up his competition, watching what John Hunter Nemechek does, and seeing if he can get by Nemechek.
Lap traffic now.
I liked what he did last time in 3 and 4, Jeff, that high middle. He tried to turn it down into a diamond on exit. I thought he was going to pull that Kevin Harvick high middle, high exit. It looks funny, but it works right here. We'll see if he stays high all the way off the corner. Nope. Once again, he turns down, tries a low exit.
Yeah, you talked about Kevin Harvick. We see him a lot of times in these cup races. Just open the exit up off turn 4. Now Allgaier right to the bottom. So much less banking down there than where the 20 is. both are new asphalt, but on that bottom lane, there's less banking than it is in the second lane.
And this is what can make the finishes of these races here at the Magic Mile so exciting is to defend, you really almost got to allow that guy trying to pass you the bottom lane on entry. And it's inviting, like slide up. You don't have to make much contact. I mean, just a little lean on these cars, and you can kind of slide them up out of the groove.
A lot of pressure being put on the 20 by the 7 of Allgaier. Allgaier now really low on exit, and he gets upside to the 20.
So that's the best run he's had. Now what's he going to do? Is he going to outbrake him? He does. Drives in deep.
Damn.
Is he going to just pull up
Deep in there.
away? That's exactly what he does.
Did he pull up too far?
Checked up a little bit, then tried to cross him.
Yep, he got back. Nemechek got back to his left rear.
Intentionally slow up.
Just hanging on that left rear.
Has to drive back under him, but I think Allgaier's in the preferred
Better
spot.
watch it. Nemechek bust his ass and spin you out.
Cross him over, but he feels he can finish.
Sometimes he'll do it on purpose, but this is one of those times Nemechek would do it by mistake.
Corner exit 20 is hanging tough.
Okay, now John Hunter, you just saw what he did to you. Let's see if you're willing to do it. No, Allgaier actually outbroke him into the corner.
Outbroke him. Oof. Close as you can be without touching.
Right on his back.
And back to the left rear.
And Allgaier still fighting with Nemechek.
Straightaway's just long enough for you to feel the side draft. And here comes Custer again. Slowly.
We'll see if Allgaier, we heard that he had a long run car. We'll see if it continues. Took him 21 laps to get back to the lead.
All these green flag lead changes at New Hampshire, of all places.
Has cleared
He got loose off 4 just enough. Nemechek got back to him again.
Taking a peek, but Allgaier still holding on. Now, lap traffic coming into play. You see a few cars in front of the 7.
And what a battle.
Oh, that
It
time,
is hot and slick out there. It
John
shows.
Hunter got him loose. Didn't hit him, but just pulled the air off his spoiler. But Allgaier just does such a good job of driving into the corner on that outside, not let John Hunter
Hang on, John.
get that position.
Nemechek actually managing to run side by side with someone for more than a couple laps without taking them out. That is remarkable. Oh boy, they caught the field. Big group of lap traffic. Nemechek into the side of the 7. They both save it. They're fine.
Into the side of the 7.
Custer's going to pass them both.
You said it. And John Hunter. And
I've been waiting on that. I didn't think Nemechek could run side by side with somebody for too long.
racetrack do they go?
Custer lost the nose getting into 3 that time. He's going to lose some ground. Heavy lap traffic.
Running third. But this lap traffic is causing problems for the 7 of Allgaier.
Causing problems for all 3 of them.
And as they run up that high line, Allgaier.
Allgaier finally getting some separation.
Of the racetrack. Take another look at the contact made here.
Well, you're thinking the 7, see, he's going to try to run 3 wide. And the 20, he believes the 7's going to slide up a little closer to the lap car, even be stuck behind him. He wants to take kind of that extra half a lane in the middle, and Allgaier did not want to give it to him. And poor Nemechek was kind of committed on his entry speed.
It looked like they were both
Now you can go NASCAR nonstop.
He has led 13 laps, Nemechek 18 as they continue to battle.
Good stage 1 so far. Joe Graff Jr. is running 20th. Remember I said at best he'd run 15th, but probably run 20th? Living up to the hype. Joe Graff Jr. in a Joe Gibbs Racing car running 20th. I'd like to remind you that Ryan Truex won Dover in the 19 car this year. And this fucking bum can't even run top 15. Loser! Allgaier pulling away as they hit 11 to go here. Guess he was right. He played Nemechek for a fool there that whole run. Let him use his stuff up. Knew he had a long run car. Man, I'm starting to get hungry, and I know we're getting Wendy's here in a bit. There's a Baconator in my future. That's all I'm saying.
Great shot of all of the campers, the fans.
New Hampshire's been a mixed bag on, quality of racing, especially in Cup over the last decade. But it remains one of my favorite tracks because of how technical and challenging it is. And I love that they go there in the middle of the summertime.
This is the battle for second right now. Allgaier has stretched it out to
I'll get back there one of these days.
9 car lengths. The fight for second between Nemechek and Custer starting to heat up. And we also have a battle for the 8th spot. Hemrick in the 11 with Sam Mayer heating things up for him.
I looked out the window a minute ago and I saw Sam Mayer on the apron of the racetrack trying to get by the 11. These guys are going at it hard. You can see right there, Mayer throttles up, and he's not even on the racetrack. He's on the apron of the exit of turn 2, trying to find a way around Hemrick.
Under 7 laps to go in stage 1. And the elder statesman, Allgaier, apparently when he was talking to his team, it's working out. He's learning a lot from the other drivers. Here's that.
Where the hell's Sam Mayer going?
Not even on the racetrack, down on the apron.
Looks like he's running at Stafford.
On restarts, Steve, we see drivers trying to make stuff happen on restarts, but you're not going full pace yet, because you just launched on the front straightaway. But Sam shifted in there and said, "I'm gonna try to make something work." Great battle here, Marty.
Cup qualifying, I actually watched it today. Kyle Busch busted his ass. There were cars getting loose. Whenever the Cup race happens in the next 2 days, probably Monday afternoon, it's going to be a good one, I think.
Listen in. Hey, you tried to take the left rear tire out already. Laterally, I need a little bit on exit, but I'm a little tight center. The tighter I get center, the less I have on exit. Balance is pretty good, though. Just tired of getting raced like a donkey.
Allgaier's bitching about Nemechek. I don't really agree with that. I think Nemechek did a remarkably good job to be as close to him and not take him out, although he got close.
But some of these younger drivers don't really care, and I think that's acceptable, right? They're trying to continue on their careers. I mean, I understand his frustration, especially with that left rear, but I think there was no harm, no foul.
And we have a caution. The 38's around on the backstretch. Hacker.
So Chris Hacker is turned around.
I think this stage is going to end under yellow unless they rush this along. They're going to hit 3 to go this time before the pace car even picks up Allgaier.
Morgan onboard camera showing the difficulty of trying to get this thing turned around and go in the right
Oh my God, guys! Joe Graf Jr. gained a spot. He's 19th now.
Good news for the leaders is I think it's close enough to the stage end that it will just end the stage.
That right rear gone for Hacker. This just
We got a right front now.
His second start in the Xfinity Series this year. You see probably the tire going down there as he came.
I don't know. Looks to me like he just kind of busted his ass. Nah, tire wasn't down yet. He just spun.
The reason I say that's good for the leaders is because if there was a chance for a couple lap shootout, some guys would pit. Let's go on board. I think he just loses grip on car.
Yep, just lost grip, spun out.
First, not the last here at New Hampshire.
And this will end the stage, so it will end under caution. That means Allgaier is going to get his 5th stage win in 2023.
This is Major Leagues.
Just Allgaier, stage 1 winner. After a crazy battle with John Hunter. There's a lot of hype about that Oppenheimer movie. Forever intertwined with the Barbie movie. What a weekend for moviegoers. See, IndyCar is running on a wet racetrack in Toronto. That looks pretty crazy.
You're watching NASCAR Xfinity Series racing from New Hampshire, the And Better Health 200. And final lap of stage 1 under caution here. And it will be Allgaier that will be getting the win. You see a lot of smoke coming out from the 44, so Raja Caruth issue.
And Raja Caruth blown up under caution.
I don't know, I just lost a little pressure coming to you. Okay. Your helmet's on. Big time under right front of you.
And you saw the fluid on the camera.
We'll get the hood up and see what's going on.
That's the stage win for Allgaier.
They ain't no open pit road next time by.
Other issues for Raja.
Remember in the early days of stage racing, we'd get a stage to end under caution like this, and they would refuse to open pit road until they normally would, as if the stage ended under green, and we'd spend like 30 laps under caution. It's like, can we just get on with it? I think they smartened up and finally just decided to get on with it.
So that and oil pressure, that's never a good combination.
Disappointing young driver trying to get some laps, get as much experience as he can. Race is only 45 laps in, and just going to give up a great deal of opportunity to learn.
Come off there. The Wiggins line broke.
Oh, the Wiggins line broke.
So the Wiggins is basically like a clamp style fitting. So you have oil lines. Some have like a hex, like you would imagine you tighten it like a bolt or a nut. But some it's called a Wiggins, and what it is it goes there and it's like a C-clamp. It kind of goes around and clamps to itself. It's a style of fitting. And it's interesting they said broke. I give it an over-under whether it's broke or just not completely installed. I've seen both.
All right, field on.
Hey, pit road's open.
Down pit road, and pit stop's about to take place. We'll start with Mark.
Yeah, it's odd they got on board on the 38.
One statement from a driver, 2 free on entry, 2 tight in the center, 2 free on.
You know, let's give a hacker an onboard camera.
And then he said, "Help my entry."
Why don't we get? Oh, Allgaier slid through his box. Well, there goes his track position. This race is now going to be in John Hunter's hands as long as the team executes here. Very slow stop for Allgaier. Ooh. Did they just call an audible and go 2 tires to keep the track position?
Before he turns the car, they're going to make an adjustment for that. 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. There is a race off.
They did. But Chandler Smith wins the race off pit road. Allgaier drops only to second because I guess they made the call to do 2 tires there to keep the track position. Track position's very important. But yeah, he slid through the box, had to back it up, and I guarantee they were like, fuck it, 2 tires. Keep the track position. But Chandler Smith regains the lead. That first pit stall. Excuse me, I'm thirsty. And we're back.
NBC Sports
Probably a long caution because the 44 drops shit everywhere.
Toyota. Let's go places. And by Progressive. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit Progressive.com. Take a look at this pit stop for Justin Allgaier. Listen in on the radio.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up, back him up, back him up, back him up, back him up. Let it down, back him up. Two tires, two tires, two tires. Go, 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 go. All the way up, all the way up. Tim, as long as they slid, I think the laps are flat spotted, buddy. Hopefully they're not vibrating.
All right, so that last thing you heard was Justin Allgaier. I think maybe the left side has a flat spot. You see the mistake.
Guess we'll find out.
Sliding along. Jim Holman instantly. We talk about track position. That is very quick thinking. He had to make a decision. A, are the left sides flat spotted? B, can I keep up in only 2 tires? Or is it worth going back to
Hopefully he can feel under the, as they ride around under caution here if they need to give up the track position for left sides or not.
If they take those right side tires off, that's service. That's service outside the pit box. That's a big penalty. So great work from the 7 all around. But in the end, just a mistake by a veteran, 20-time race winner, Justin Allgaier.
Let's bring in the Peacock Pit Box with DJ and Dale Earnhardt Jr. And we're hearing that the 7 is going to get a penalty for pitting outside the box. So something must have been done.
Might as well come back in and put those lefts on now.
They're still up. But let's bring them in. Overconfident.
Junior, what do you think?
Justin Allgaier winning that first stage.
Well, I think they ought to be confident as good as they're running, Rick, but that's a tough situation for them. Now they have to come from the back of the field in stage 2, and that pulls them out of that battle.
Might as well pit now and put the lefts on.
Between 3 drivers who I believe may be battling for the title at the end of the season, but let's talk about the cut line and what the drivers did in the first stage to help or hurt their chances for the playoffs.
Yeah, so let's remember that there's 12 drivers that make the playoffs in this Xfinity Series, and those are Sheldon Creed, Riley Hurt, and Parker Kligerman, who sits in that 13th. Well, those 3 drivers finished 11th, 12th, and 13th after that first stage, so nothing was done there. Nobody gained any points there, so you can see what this real battle is going to be for these next 9 races for those drivers.
Yeah, Rick, and a track where track position matters, mistakes on pit road for any of those drivers like the 7 had will take them out of a great result today.
Yeah, what looked like a dominant performance for Justin Allgaier now is in a situation where he's going to have to fight his way from the back to the front.
All right, so let's go back to the 7 again. I didn't see any service taking place, but you cannot do anything.
You can't do anything that was the fuel can engaged.
But look at the rear. So the rear guy, this is very hard, but as we freeze it right here, the guy in the back, you see the front, right? He hasn't taken any lug nuts off. He's not even servicing the car.
It's the jack man.
Well, the rear tire changer, it's really up to him to know how far he has run around the car, like we're too long in the box. He hits the wheel, takes the lug nut off.
The car's jacked up and a tire changer's
messing
with the lugs.
You could do nothing to your car outside the box.
So Allgaier comes back in, put the left sides on, and they'll drop to the rear.
If you take a lug nut off or if you put fuel in, Marty, that's a penalty.
Yeah, initially Jim Pullman was very upset when they made the call, but he talked to the NASCAR official and did confirm via our video they touched that one lug nut on that right side. So he said, hey, if we're going to be at the back, obviously, Steve, this is an easy call to make, right? You come in, you put the left side tires on the car, and there's him arguing the call and the official explaining exactly what happened.
So, look, it's always easy to say in hindsight, but we'll be reviewed this week to that rear changer. When you come off the wall, if you take 2, 3,
that left front looked odd for a second. I think it's just the way the car's set up. The left front was so low. I'm like, oh, did the tire come off? Nah.
You know, so many times if you're 6 inches to the good, Jeff, then you're telling that tire changer, why'd you wait? We need to get this stop going. So, in the end, it comes down to the driver putting his car on the sign where it needs to be in the box.
And, Steve, I want to clarify because we saw this out of I believe it was Chase Elliott's crew.
Long-ass caution.
If he would have put the lug nut on before he...
An engine did blow up, so we'll give it a break.
So he would have made the correction.
Accept the challenge. You're behind Joe Graff Jr. At least you know you're going to pass one car guaranteed.
If they could have proven they put the one lug nut back on, that would be hard to do. And you think in that confusion at this point, once you take a lug nut off, really this kind of started because cars would leave with a lug nut missing.
Junior Motorsports can't get out of their own way this season.
NASCAR cleaned it up. And
outside of Charlotte.
It's frustrating, but I agree with the call. There was service with car outside the box.
Penalty for the 7. After winning stage 1, they'll have to restart stage 2 in the back.
Really unfortunate that the 44 blew up under caution while he was running the middle of the damn racetrack. I mean, he was like right in the middle. And near the leaders, because I guess he just got lapped before the stage end. So he couldn't get down below the apron.
Is an IMAX shot epic thriller that thrusts audiences into the pulse-pounding paradox of the enigmatic man who must risk destroying
Fascinating.
the world in order to save it. Only at theaters July 21st. Tickets on sale now.
I think Oppenheimer and Barbie have been the best promoted movies in the history of cinema. Because Jesus.
We're speeding on pit road, so they'll have to go to the back as well. Take a look at stage 1 points. Allgaier winning the stage gets those 10 points, which is great, and a playoff point for winning the stage. But now pays the penalty for the issue that they had, and he'll have to start the back.
Yeah, we're on board with Sammy Smith right here. You mentioned with speeding. He started at the back, drove all the way up inside the top 15, got that speeding penalty, so, you know, he's going to have
Finally, the one to go.
Chandler
Different
Smith
look at the
must
front
be
here.
happy
The
that
21 and the
Vegas
9
is there to
are on the
high
second
side
row.
16 car.
Chandler Smith's back in the
He said this
lead.
on the radio right before the pit stop.
All right, I do believe the track and everything's going to start tightening up for us. So how much do you need an adjustment?
The only Costas Nemechek there on the front row. This should be a good stage for him with the 7 buried way in the back.
No history knowledge, guys. First time here for Chandler Smith, so he's like, help me out. And they've got the good restart position here. We'll see what they did to the race car.
So you heard him say I need a number. So every team, well, most teams have a scaling system, maybe 1 to 10 or 1 to 5. And so what he's saying is if they have a 1 to 10 scale, he needs 10% better. He needs 10% of a change if the track doesn't change. He put it on a screw sheet. He said, look, I don't have history here. You do. Right now, I need a 1 number change. If you think that means change nothing, then we're going to change nothing. But you have to tell me where this track's going to go.
Well, if it's a 1 number because I'm already too tight, you better go 2. Because I agree with Bruce Slipper there that this track is going to tighten up. That's what history would say. The tighter you get in the middle, the worse your drive off gets, everything goes bad.
This is going to be a sprint right here. There's only 37 laps in this stage, so buckle up, we'll roll.
That's what the drivers are doing. And again,
Finally, a green flag.
The 7 can get back up to the front after
Good launch for Chandler Smith. Nemechek again, not good on a restart.
Chandler Smith with a great restart. And John Hunter Nemechek
But
looking inside for the lead.
good speed through 1.
We talked in the pre-race about Brandon Jones.
Made up for the bad restart this time.
Well, now that the 7 has had an issue, he's that bright yellow number 9 on the bottom. He has to kind of look at this as an opportunity.
And where do drivers go?
Custer had a bad pit stop, I'm noticing there. He's stuck behind the 9 and the 21 and the 8.
Brandon Jones now in the middle of 3 wide, trying to get to that top lane.
Yeah, fell back just a bit with the 0-0. Custer on his inside. Custer
Man,
to get by Josh Berry.
thought Hemrick was getting screwed by the 10 car for the second week in a row there with a different driver.
Getting in the corner. Almost took some guys with him. Now he's in the middle of 3 wide.
Oh! Austin Dillon and Sam Mayer almost hit. Mayer was swinging out to art the corner, and they almost hit.
Coming into the mix as well.
2 of 3. He is absolutely sideways back there.
Austin Hill going for second.
Door to door. 4th position. The 48 on the inside of the 10.
Nemechek checking out. I think Nemechek and Allgaier are in a league of their own today. We'll see if this track changes as the clouds start to roll in. We know weather might come later in the day. I think the race will get in, but it'll get cloudy long before it rains. And you can see now it's pretty overcast.
And it didn't work out for him. Look how early he turns. He turns way early and gets away from the 16. That really hurts his angle of attack. What you'd like to do is stay close to the 16 a little bit longer and then turn into
Chandler
the
Smith holds off Hill, but loses touch with Nemechek. Got a camera on Allgaier passing the back markers.
One winner, Justin Allgaier, currently in the 25th position, trying to be patient through traffic, but you know it's this battle of patience versus I have to go. You mentioned it's a short sprint in stage 2, but that 3rd stage is still north of 100 laps, so got to pick and chooses. I'm kind of comparing him to the 18 to Sammy Smith, who you don't see in the screen, and that's because he is in front of the 7. He kind of got through traffic a little bit quicker.
Brandon Jones just in front of the 98 of Riley Herbst. And Riley now looking to the inside of Brandon.
Look at Riley now. He's trying to run that apron. You know, it's interesting.
Hill making a charge for second again.
Austin Hill back underneath Chandler Smith. Austin finished the first stage in 10th. Now he is sitting there racing Chandler for second. Steve, it's so interesting. These guys racing each other, running lines. They never even think about running in practice. I mean, they have to run somewhere. They got to go where the guy in front of you isn't. And no one was running these lines in practice. And now here they are in the race marking, having to try something different.
And what a stop for the 21 bunch. They gave Austin Hill a lot of spots, and he's trying to hold off Cole Custer right there. But they told him on the radio, Jeff, you're better in 1 and 2 than you are in 3 and 4. That's where you really need to work on things. So how difficult, Jeff, is it to kind of hit both?
Look at Austin Dillon barely able to run top 10 in the Xfinity Series.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult for the team to get the car to drive good in both ends of the racetrack.
Oh my kidding, these cars are harder to drive.
The back straightaway is downhill. There's big bumps into turn 3. It completely changes the way you approach 3 versus 1. You can attack turn 1. They are very different corners. The exit of 2 is tight. Looks the same, but they're not.
See all that stuff that Jeff just said when we talk about preparation during the week? That's what younger drivers have to do. Jeff has so many laps here, he can just rattle that off of what this track is. But if you're one of these young drivers, you need to go back to your notes or your teammates' notes about how the corners drive different. So you can expect a certain field to make sure maybe you just don't have something that can be fixed.
We'll see there are 10 drivers in this field that have never run in the Xfinity Series at this racetrack. So 10 first-time starts here.
I think Steve is 100% right. Like, what is an acceptable amount of driving bad, right? I mean, nobody's...
What is an acceptable amount of driving bad?
Complaining about something, but some can go faster doing it than others. So what is acceptable? What can you deal with and what you can't deal with?
Yeah, Truex, right? Cup practice, when we talked to him, he said, my car's doing all of this stuff wrong, but it's pretty fast, so it kind of feels like New Hampshire.
Well, we saw Cole Custer in the double.
Custer thought he had it. Thought he had the pass made on the 21.
What Cole Custer did there is
he should get it here.
He gave Hill the bottom. Like, he wants the top. He feels like if he can get on the top of Austin Hill, he's going to make this pass. So he got underneath Austin, overdrove the entry, went completely up the racetrack. Austin drove underneath him, but Custer said, it's fine. I'm in the position I want. I want to be in the outside lane. That is years of cup racing. That's experience right there you saw from Cole Custer.
We saw Josh Berry now use that outside line. He also has been able to get by Austin Hill. So Berry up to the 4th position.
And the driver that I think might have the best car in New Hampshire when we never find out is the 18 of Sammy Smith. Started shotgun, drove to 15th, started at the back this run, and now he's up to 17th. And this is on board. Look at this right here. You talk about experience. This young man's 19 years old, but he's picking and choosing. Going to be a little bit shallow on entry here, so now he has to kind of over-slow because he won't be able to dime in the corner. Try to stay inside this 51 on exit.
Caution. 66 is stuck on pit road. Oh, Chad Fincham. Sorry, Caden.
Fincham has stopped on pit road, but he's
What, they can't push his ass to the fucking garage? Like, damn. That really has to be a yellow. Oh, well, we needed to go to commercial anyway. Nothing's going to happen at the front unless Allgaier gets back up there.
Stuck. Like, if the brakes are locked up, if something's going on here.
They couldn't push him maybe into a stall or something.
Well, right now, disappointment for some is opportunity for others. And if I'm the 7 and the 18, I'm really considering coming right here and taking on fuel. There's 24 laps to go in this stage, but you have 134 laps to go in the race, so you're inside a one-stop window. So when you look at a race, and I say a window, this is no different than a road trip. If you're leaving Charlotte and you're driving to New York and you know you need to stop for gas one time, you don't want to stop in Raleigh if you still can't make it to New York on that tank of gas, right? You have to get farther enough away from where you started and close enough to your destination that your one stop for gas is going to get you all the way there. That's where these teams are at. Where Sammy Smith is right here, and the whole field is they know if they put in fuel now, they only have to come one more time. Now, the reason I say these guys, because they're already in the back. I don't think I would pit if I'm the leader. But the cars without track position, this is that opportunity to maybe kind of jump those other guys, get a little lucky with the correct time yellow.
I've been told Winchester, Virginia is actually the stopping
Winchester?
point. When you go from Charlotte to New York, you stop at Winchester, Virginia for fuel.
It's great barbecue in Raleigh, though. You don't stop and get some food.
See, I'd be frustrated because Jeff would make me stop at the barbecue. We'd still have to stop again at Winchester. I'm not riding with you two.
We have road tripped quite a few times.
Yeah, well, you got to find a good place to eat, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, look, we saw this a week ago in the Cup race in Atlanta, right? We saw as they were racing for the weather, people kept trying to top off their fuel to try to be the first car on the most amount of fuel. And Michael McDowell played it as perfect as possible. Right. So Taylor Moyer right there.
And so, waiting to see if teams make their way onto pit road. The official app of NASCAR Tracks has the latest race and event information from your favorite tracks. Search NASCAR Tracks in the App Store. You can download for free and start using that app today. It's Raja Karuth in the Circle.com car, and he is stopped on pit road right now.
Yeah, remember he had that oil line off earlier.
Oh no, Greg Van Alst has gone to the garage.
Could you hurt the motor? So I don't expect to see Nemechek or Chandler Smith, any of the leaders. They're probably committed to their strategy of staying. The real question is, will somebody else gamble, right? Will the 7, will the 18, or do they think they're fast enough to just recover? They may think that's not worth the risk because they have a good enough car. So you see the 18, he's staying on the racetrack, and so is the 7. So they think they can just kind of beat these other guys heads up. I'm a kind of a gambler, though, Rick.
They got Austin Cindric wearing glasses like Logano now. I just saw the clip roll across my Twitter. I think his glasses look even sillier than Joey Logano's, but hey, if it helps, good for him. I think Michael's at the racetrack today. Yeah, all that to finally make a race, and the ship breaks on pit road and brings out a really stupid, unnecessary caution. But we're coming to the green here.
So much racing.
Oh man, look at the rumble strips on the backstretch. New Hampshire Roval win. No, I'm kidding.
Great New Englander and friend of ours.
Thunder Road, Rick, you bring me right back. A lot of weekends I spent up at
Don't talk about Thunder Road. I'm still sad SRX can't race there this week.
Ken's doing well. I know they've had a lot of rain up here and flooding.
Let's see if Custer can do anything with Nemechek. Might actually get the chance this time without somebody being between them.
20 laps to go. Still in stage 2. It's John Hunter Nemechek on the outside, Chandler Smith on the inside as we get ready for the restart.
Ready. Oh boy, big stack up. Big stack up. Major wreck. Justin Allgaier's in it. Parker Kligerman's done.
Allgaier's involved in it.
Yeah, big wreck. This is one of those racetracks.
Yep, Allgaier's fucked. His car's, he's going to continue, but his shit's tore up pretty good. Klickerman, that's a DNF. Congratulations, John Hunter Nemechek. You just won the race.
The 39, the 48.
Damn.
That's terminal for the 48. You see the smoke. I don't think it's just tire rub.
The implications for the 48. They give us 13th in points coming in.
Why is it here, Jeff? This place is known for it.
Well, Indy also. Remember Indy?
Indy, Phoenix, and New Hampshire are notorious for this.
And narrow, it's hard to see. You cannot see.
Sure, they're alerting Nemechek that, hey, the 7 was in that, so we got this shit on lockdown. Started with Custer. That outside line, I think, is where this starts. Let's see.
Start with Parker Kligerman right here.
Where does it start?
Outside,
Nemechek brake checked the entire field and caused that wreck. That's exactly what just happened.
And they had launched.
Nemechek brake checked the entire field.
They can wait all the way until the end
Yep,
of the blue
that was Nemechek's fault.
zone. So you see,
Watch him.
they just wait
Stops.
all the way to the finish.
Yep, that was Nemechek.
Nothing wrong right there.
No, yes, he did. He did that.
He launched just before the line. We'll watch it again.
No, he brake checked the entire field. He didn't go.
Everybody was
He didn't launch till as they were crossing that line. So, no, Jeff Burton's full of shit. Ain't there nothing wrong there? Yeah, he did. But whatever.
And you have to guess. It's a bit of
I think he
a
should be
guess.
penalized for that.
Literally guess wrong. Now, here's the first line they're coming to. Okay, so Steve said that you got to launch.
As soon as they hit the first line, he stops. He stops. He stops.
There he goes. He had started rolling before he got.
Jeff Burton's wrong.
They're all stacked up.
Okay, so
Jeff Burton is completely wrong.
The restart zone was put in place because when we went through double file restarts, the leader needs to have an advantage. He's already lost the advantage of now somebody's starting next to me. So you get to decide when to fire in this zone of time. Everyone behind is thinking, I'm going to leave a little gap. I'm going to roll up and time this perfect and pull out a line. And when the leader waits, everybody stacks up. And I agree with your assessment, Jeff. I believe the leader did nothing wrong.
You're full of shit. You're both full of shit. John Hunter Nemechek brake checked the entire field and caused a crash. But he did nothing wrong, guys.
So you even heard it right there.
Fuck are they watching?
That's great work by the spotter.
I'll text Michael now.
You heard Sammy Smith trying to, roll into it.
So here we go, the outside car. See, it appears to me he's going before he gets to the line. Now, it wasn't much before the line, but everybody...
Now they're walking it back. Well, it wasn't much before the line.
And just anticipated it and just guessed
And
wrong.
now look, if the leader doesn't go before the line, it's still not penalty on the leader. That just means the other guy in the front row can go. Right? So, not that you would want to do this, Jeff, but John Hunter, in theory, cannot go. He can just wait as long as he wants. Correct. So watch right here on the speeds, Jeff. Right, so Nemechek's 38 miles an hour, very consistent. You see him slowly accelerate as they kind of all creep up, but it'll be a big jump when he gets on the gas. He's still in the zone, still in the zone, still in the zone.
They're so full of shit.
Past 50 miles an hour.
They are so fucking full of shit.
What would happen if he didn't go? The flagman starts...
Tony didn't do nothing wrong, guy. You didn't do nothing wrong. Yes, he did.
The green, and now anybody can roll.
The fuck are they on?
On that front row. So I don't see any rules broken there, but a lot of...
I do. You can't just fucking stop.
This is the backup car.
That's dangerous, and you should be penalized for that.
From a wreck yesterday, he lost brakes. Parker Kligerman, he came in a tight battle trying to make the playoffs, Dave, and now he's in trouble.
He was below the cut line, just 6 points behind Riley Herbst. Guess who missed that wreck? Riley Herbst. So
hey, Riley Herbst didn't get in that wreck.
Came on the radio and told his crew it went to 0. That was the oil pressure, so they said, bring it back to the garage. We are done. Marty?
Boy, Dave, massive playoff implications in this wreck. Not only at the cut line, which is now on the left-hand side of your screen. Look at that swing for Riley Herbst. Plus 43, holy smokes. And then also at the top, remember Justin Allgaier is trying to win the regular season championship as well. And see, here's the problem when you get damage at a short track like New Hampshire. Jim Pullman doesn't have much time to work on this car when they come down pit road because the field catches up so quickly, you can only make your changes in really 30 to 40 second increments.
Yeah, you get small changes, but just remember, this all started with a mistake. A mistake put the 7 in the back. He had won the first stage. This is why when we talk about, they're simple mistakes. We're all human. We all make them.
You guys know Brian Kozlowski spotting for Brad tomorrow because TJ's sick. Just saw that on Twitter. But how the hell can they sit there and say John Hunter Nemechek didn't cause that? Yes, he did.
Riley Herbst now 43 points.
He wrecked the entire fucking field. But John Hunter didn't do nothing wrong, guys. He totally didn't. Even though he did. Unless mine comes with a drink. How the hell? Oh, I didn't do nothing wrong.
The NTT IndyCar Series is spending the weekend racing on the streets of Toronto. As a matter of fact, qualifying right now taking place in the rain. Will Alex Flo make it 4 straight wins, or will Scott Dixon in the run and repeat in Canada? You catch all the action tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Peacock. So make sure to tune in on Peacock for that street race in Toronto for the IndyCar. And we just saw a
street race will never work
on the restart here.
Wait a
And want to bring in Peacock Pit Box, Dale Jr., Dale Jarrett. All right, guys, how difficult is it
Dirty
to
pool.
get back in the swing of things when you saw what stack up we just saw on that restart?
Well, I think it's a good reminder when you're a driver and you actually get through something like that. You're not one of the ones damaged. It's a good reminder to be paying attention on the restarts and not try to get too aggressive. With everything we see, nothing was done wrong by the.
God damn it, Junior, you're wrong.
He waited till the very end of the restart.
He brake checked the whole field.
He didn't slow down. He didn't bottleneck the field. It's
yes, he
the
did.
drivers behind him trying to get a roll and anticipate the restart. All 4 or 5 rows trying to do that all at the same time. And you know when you're buried at row 5, 6, 7, you're going with the cars around you. They start going, you're going.
Yeah.
Right? No one knows the leader has yet to start. And so, like Jeff Burton pointed out, it happens on these racetracks with the long straightaways. The oval at Indy got me one time. The straightaway at Homestead got me one time. That was actually Jeff that turned me there. So, I mean, we're all been in this situation before. And it's hard.
Wait, Jeff Burton does nothing
You
wrong.
point to blame on somebody, but you can't.
Yeah, you
There's a
want
pissed
to,
off
but
Ryan
you
Sieg
understand,
again.
all we talk about every week are you got to get what you can on these restarts, and these drivers know that launch is what helps them to do that they can get down here and turn 1 and make it 3 wide somewhere and try to get a
Parker Klickerman turned around and said, fuck.
what they're going through, but then you're so mad at yourself for making a mistake like that cost you, and Justin Allgaier can go back, and not to pile on Justin, but, you know, when you make a mistake, as they were talking about.
Well, Allgaier's car is still running. All the wheels are straight. Worry about that left rear, though. Left rear fender.
So I really think the 2 drivers, Dale and Dale down there, broke it down really, really well. but it kind of even starts on the front row. So if we take another look with speed, and I'm not going to blame Chandler Smith because I think every race car driver would attempt. So the 16 is trying to time his restart with the 20, trying to stay up close. So you see, they're kind of the same speed.
I just don't know how they draw the conclusion that Nemechek didn't cause that.
Watch that.
The fuck are they watching?
He actually accelerates first. So if you stop it like right here, you see he's at 52 miles an hour, and Nemechek hasn't gone yet. So he kind of rolls up, and then he checks up. So if we roll through that at full speed one time and just watch that 16 car, it makes it look like Nemechek slows down. That's not the case. Nemechek is actually a consistent speed per the rules. It's the 16.
No, he's not. He literally stopped.
That accelerates and slows, which makes it look like.
Oh, is that why everybody behind John Hunter Nemechek stacked up, and that's where the wreck started? Oh, yeah.
You know, he did just what I want my race car driver to do, right? I need
wreck the whole field so it's easier for you to win. Not that he was intending to wreck the entire field. He was just jacking up the restart. But somehow, oh, it's not his fault. Oh, you say Chandler Smith accelerates. That's why it looks like he slows down. Oh, really? Is that why everybody behind Nemechek stacks up and that's where the wreck happens?
A completely different ball game strategy-wise. They needed to do what they had to win. They felt like this was it, Dave.
And Kim, it's kind of the same way for Brandon Jones. We've already talked about the fact that he's so far behind.
Half this race has been under caution now because the 44 blew up at a stage end, and then we had this shit show.
I love this call. Tires now, maybe gas only, or don't even come in at the end of the stage. Got to get off sequence. Brandon Jones.
Got to get in front of the 20.
Like they need a win in their points position. I agree with them.
Yeah.
Parker Kligerman out of the race.
Sorry, Parker.
What happened and how is this going to affect your hunt for a
How do you think?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, we.
Oh, that's it. How do you think this will affect your season? I don't know.
They all went, and I gave a little space to
Like
let
Earnhardt
him
said at
go.
Wilkesboro in '89. The hell do you think?
And then suddenly he stopped. I'm on the brake, and I don't know, got slammed from behind, straight into him, and then our hood was destroyed. So I guess look at the replay here. Yes, I don't know. Just not fun. Anyway, I guess I didn't stop, but we got the worst run of it. Just the wrong place in the accordion. Really unfortunate. We had a really fast Spike Light Coors Chevy. Thanks to Scott Borchetta, Sandy Borchetta for the opportunity. And I just think this was one of the better short tracks we had all year. We're such positive momentum, only 6 points out. I felt like today was going to be an easy top 10, maybe top 5 day. Just have it ripped from us like that's really disappointing. But we're not down, we're not out. We'll keep going. We got a lot of great tracks ahead of us we can go win at.
I love it. Positive attitude from Parker Kligerman, who takes a nosedive, unfortunately, in the standings after that incident.
You heard Parker. He wasn't real sure what happened, and that's what happens in these situations. And then it all goes back again to not being able to see. Parker had no idea what was going on in front of him. They started checking up. He couldn't respond. It's just, we see it all the time on these types of racetracks. And also, we played a radio clip from Chandler Smith, and he said, "Let me know if there are any warnings put out." And what he's saying is, he thinks in his brain, Nemechek didn't go when he was supposed to.
He didn't.
He's not thinking he's going to get a warning. He's thinking Nemechek is going to get a warning.
Finally,
So you talked about
somebody with some common sense.
a little bit early, and he did, but he only gained like a couple mile an hour. It wasn't like he launched 50, you know what I mean? He gained a little bit, tried to get a little forward momentum going. He recognized the 20 wasn't going, so he checked up, and he's like, we're so deep in the box, the 20 should have gone. So he's expected that Nemechek's going to get a warning, not him.
And Rick, we have to remind the fans, right? I love the job of analyzing what we're seeing. We're like frame by frame.
Right.
Gonna restart with, it'll be 9 to go in the stage when they get the
They
green.
don't get to see it and go, oh, I'm going to do it different. Now they get another chance at it here. But this is like looking at a great football catch frame by frame, right? It's almost unfair to the athlete.
It's funny, Steve's like, he gained 2 miles an hour. Like, you don't know you gained 2 miles an hour.
Exactly. The fact that he was gaining,
Chandler Smith, he can't expect that anything would be said to John Hunter Nemechek, right? Because ultimately, John Hunter Nemechek, when he gets to that last line in the zone, the flag.
Why are they so vehemently defending John Hunter Nemechek?
We're up here. It's air conditioned. We know we're not going to win or wreck, or we're not going to blow a motor today. We're going to talk about it. Those guys are in the middle of it, and that is their life. That's their emotion, and you think differently when it's in that. You got a chance to win a race, right? And you're like, that guy didn't do something right. You know, and that's how it works. And that's why when you hear a driver be interviewed after a wreck, don't always believe what they say. They might think it's true, but they don't really know all the time.
Listen, the worst job I think here is the officials on pit road. Because if I was Bruce Schlicker, the crew chief of the 16, I would find an official right now, and I'd be, you absolutely need to tell the 20, he can't do that, he can't do this. I would be politicking, trying to, not that it would sway anybody, but I'd feel a lot better standing up for my driver.
Interesting race, that's for sure.
Coming up to the restart zone.
And remember, there were a couple of cars that pitted under this caution that are going to stay out at the end of the stage. We'll see how that affects the race. Wow, Nemechek actually went that time. That's how you fucking restart. Got a great launch and took off. He didn't just slam on the brake in front of everybody like he did earlier. Josh Berry into second place. Nice. Maybe Junior Motorsports still has a shot. But not yet. Nemechek took off pretty good there. It's amazing what you can do when you actually use the gas pedal. Sammy Smith, Brandon Jones are the two main cars that pitted under that caution.
That 26 of Kaz Gralla, he got wrecked yesterday. It wasn't his fault. He just was in the wrong place, wrong time.
Whoa, Austin Hill puts the bumper to Mayer in turn 4. Mayer took the run off the corner and drove off from him. Custer's fallen off here a bit. I'm disappointed. Felt like he had something for the 20. Of course he did until he started getting brake checked the previous restart.
You see Cole Custer to the inside of Smith now. Chandler taking that almost second and a half groove.
It's only a matter of time for Riley Herbst in the 98. I know he's wanting to win that race, and of course he's going to be frustrated. He just wants to see it, but I've really seen a big shift in what he's doing behind the wheel. Both confident, decision-making.
Oh, 24 hard in the wall.
24 is high, out of the groove, damage.
And we have a caution. Connor Mosak. Hard in the wall.
He was running 12.
It's great for the 18 and the 9 and whoever pitted under the previous yellow. I think this will get restarted with at least one lap to go.
And all those cars that just pitted, namely the 2 of Creed. Let's see what happens to the 24. He's kind of at the top of your screen, I think.
Busted ass, getting into one, just loose.
Free wide, free into the corner, big, long slide.
Bangs the right rear into the outside wall.
Racetrack is notorious for tough restarts and notorious for being loose on corners. You know, look at all the tire tracks. He's not the first one through there, is he?
So Connor Mosak makes a little bit of contact with that outside.
Not surprised you have somebody agreeing with you. I mean, it was obvious. Nemechek caused that wreck. The end. He didn't mean to cause the wreck, but he was fucking around on the restart.
With 2 laps to go in the stage, so the pit road is open.
And we are going to get a shootout for the stage win. Nemechek, Barry, Smith, all these guys pitting. This is interesting. I see Justin Allgaier stayed out back there.
Josh Berry, who was running second. Josh saying it was a little bit of that run. He just needs help rotating more through the center of the exit. Similar, just more of the same from the last stop. So air pressure guns on those 4 French Goodyears, Dave.
Leader John Hunter Nemechek said, I'm just a touch on the other side of the balance at fire off, but on a long run, I need more of what you were giving me. The 16 of Chandler Smith says I just need a little air out of the left rear. That means the car was a little bit light. Just will free him up.
Battle off of pit road. And it was a close one.
Nemechek's first one off pit road, but will not be the leader here.
Herbst grabs a spot on pit road. Custer loses one. That's how tight it was right there. Nemechek just in front of Berry.
Again, another dead Xfinity race stream. So we got Sammy Smith and Parker Retzlaff on the front row for the stage win.
And Sam Mayer, they're not the first two to argue about would they have come, should they have come. They'll have to clean it up.
Oh, don't tell me another Junior Motorsports team shot themselves in the foot. You're kidding.
He had a ton of room. He was just a little out of line versus everyone else. But now we have new
Sammy Smith, Parker Retzlaff, Sheldon Creed, Josh Williams fourth, Joe Graff Jr. fifth because he stayed out, and another stack up here, but they roll. Please take out Nemechek back there. That'd be so funny. That'd be so fucking funny. Parker Retzlaff going to win a state? No way. Oh, the 18 ran him wide off of 2. Thought they were both gone.
Coming up on 1 to go in stage 2.
Sammy Smith's going to take the lead, I think, and hang on here. Coming to 1 to go.
A little bit deeper into 3. Gets the lead away from
Sheldon Creed underneath Retzlaff for second. Yeah, this is good for the 18. He'll take off here.
Sammy, for the first time all day, doesn't have a group of cars in front of him. He's been mired in traffic.
Stay out here.
Well, the 31 of Parker Retzlaff doing a really nice job battling to the front. He came in a pretty good chunk below the cut line, over 100. This will be a good score of stage points.
Every little bit counts as we see Creed.
Good until Creed cleans him out here.
His way to the inside, trying to take second away, but this will be Sammy Smith grabbing his.
Retzlaff going to hold on for second place stage points. I think Justin Allgaier finished 6th by staying out.
John Hunter Nemechek, he drove all the way back up.
Yep, Allgaier gets 6th place stage points.
Joe Graff Jr. in 7th, grabbing a couple stage points as well.
And another eternal caution in this really long Xfinity race. 5 cautions in the first half. Sheesh. I'd be very curious to see Nemechek's telemetry there on that restart. Eagerly awaiting the arrival of my Baconator. I haven't had a Baconator in a while. I'm due.
NBC Sports coverage of NASCAR on USA is brought to you by Credit One Bank, the credit card company, and by the new movie Gran Turismo, based on a true story, only in theaters August 11th.
Yeah, because the video game was real.
And now, cars will be working their way back onto pit road, those that didn't come to pit road.
Okay, we got Retzlaff pitting, Josh Williams pitting. Everybody else staying out. So yeah, John Hunter's going to restart 6th here. At least he'll have a few cars to have to deal with instead of just checking out right away.
He qualified 13th, and when I talked to him and Jordan Anderson, his car owner, before the race, they felt pretty confident about what they could get done here this afternoon. That's only the 4th time this year that Parker has earned stage points in a race, so things continuing to look in the right direction for this group.
I have high hopes for the future of Jordan Anderson Racing.
Tire rolling up there in front. Hopefully somebody sees that before he goes to leave. There you go. Good job picking it up. Now we're going to get kind of set for that final little over 100 laps, Rick. It's going to be exciting.
Just got to make sure everybody gets through the restarts. Sammy Smith,
yeah.
winning stage.
Well, now that Nemechek's not in the front row,
Start up front.
for now. I'll be right back. Boots here. Getting up high so we can see everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Wendy's has been acquired.
Chase Elliott, we know is going to be in the race. Running the number 17. Daniel Suarez also is scheduled to be a part of it. And that's an outfit that I think we would normally see in Michigan, the yellow and blue stripes, but possibly a Michigan person that has decided to come to this
your favorite
race.
snack, Rick. I can't believe he's not bringing that corn dog up to you.
Love a good corn dog. You know who loves a good corn dog? Is Dale Earnhardt Jr. So let's bring in Dale Jarrett and Dale Earnhardt Jr. All right, guys. Have you seen
What a great
enough
segue.
of the first 2 stages that you can predict who's going to win this race?
Well, the late cautions in stage 2 flipped things around and made what looked like a relatively simple drive to victory for Nemechek a little more tough. But one driver that I think did a masterful job, especially on the pit box with the strategy, was Creed. Sheldon Creed, who came into this just 26 above the cut line at the bubble, has done a masterful job not only to cycle himself forward and get some stage points, but now they're going to try to race to the end and grab a top 10, and they're making things difficult on the other drivers around him in that points battle.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I'm not sure his car's handling good enough. We'll see how he's up there in the front with this. It's going to make things more difficult for the other drivers, though. But I want to see what John Hunter can do coming up through there, and Josh Berry, who looked like he had his car pretty good. And after you and he decided to put my name on the side of that car. No, that's not true. That's actually Jarrett Companies out of Ohio. But Josh Berry is a really good short track racer, and I want to see if he can get that first win for this year.
Well, this stage is going to get pretty interesting as the drivers are going through the choose and lining up, Kim.
Well, a little bit shocking that Sheldon chose the inside line, because last year on a late restart, he also chose the inside line when the top was a preferred lane. And I asked crew chief Jeff Stankiewicz, explain that choice last year to me, and he said that was the wrong choice.
Why does this strawberry frosty from Wendy's taste like Pepto-Bismol, but in a good way?
For his car, he is great on restarts. Jeff reiterating the fact that Sheldon has the courage to put the car places other drivers will not go.
Yeah, Kim, courage is not a problem with Sheldon Creed. He will put it anywhere he thinks it might be able to stick.
Yeah, see, even with that issue, Allgaier with the most points stored in the stages, but just below him, I know Dale Jr. pointed out the 2 of Creed. But I'm going to point out the 9.
I'm pulling for y'all, Geyer.
Stage is starting in row 2. Same great call with strategy.
Keep your eye on Joe Graff Jr. Great opportunity sitting there on the bottom.
Yeah, guys. Keep your eye on Joe Graff Jr. there.
As they're back under green.
Nemechek immediately puts a 3 wide in the middle. I wish he'd cut down and take out Nemechek. It'd be so fucking funny.
Nemechek made it 3 wide, fighting for that 4th spot. He was all the way down on the apron, and now he's getting to the inside of the 9.
Smart move by Nemechek to put Joe Graff Jr. behind him as quickly as possible.
20 of Nemechek drifts up the track just a bit, but door to door with Brandon Jones as those two fight for the 3rd spot. Sammy Smith, Creed, Nemechek, Jones, Allgaier, all in the top 5.
What Nemechek's been able to do right here, he's been able to drive through the field better than the guys he was racing earlier. So he's sitting there running 3rd.
Most frustrating thing for Nemechek is he's going to have to chase down a teammate. And that's always toughest because you know your cars are very, very much identical at this point.
Are we surprised that Allgaier has
You're driving the same shit.
from the accident and has been able to get up here and is running in the 5th position?
Well, certainly the car is not as good as he needs it to be with all that damage on the front end, especially. You see the left front nose, all the tape on the hood, the nose is caved in. Certainly that's not helping him. But he's a grinder. He is not going to quit. He'll keep fighting.
I bet Allgaier's car is still really good in the center of the corner. It's probably just by the end of the straightaway he's given up a little bit.
Graff Jr. making it tough for him on the inside. John Hunter Nemechek takes the 2nd spot.
We are past halfway now.
Now the most dominant team at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the Xfinity Series has been Joe Gibbs Racing.
And Joe Graff Jr. dooring Allgaier down the back.
Run his teammate down, Sammy Smith.
Here, Joe Graff Jr.
Yeah.
In the 19, trying to clear Allgaier.
Man, look at Joe Graff Jr. go. Racing hard against a rail. Riley Herbst just got crashed by Austin Dillon, or maybe he crashed himself. Caution's out. I was about to make a joke that Joe Graff Jr. is really showing off by passing a wrecked race car.
You look at the right front wheel, that concrete and paint or mineral kind of jammed into it.
And remember, that's the guy that Parker Kligerman is racing for that to get into the playoffs. So both of those guys having trouble.
The bubble tightens. Sheldon Creed begins to build a points gap. It's already been a great day for Sheldon Creed. The 98's fucked. The 48's fucked.
You could go 80 green. You know, welcome to New Hampshire. It's a few miles race every time you come, not because of yellows, but because of how it works. And there's the bubble, right? This is a car that thought he was going to make big gains on Kligerman, as Jeff just pointed out. And in the end, contact with the 10.
Right now he's being scored in the 27th position. If he does fall out of the race, he'll fall to 31st, which would be 1 spot in front of Parker Kligerman.
All right, so the 3 wide right here.
3 wide's 98 come up.
Riley gets clear of Austin Hill on the inside.
Yeah, he came up. He came up. Austin Dillon was all the way against the wall, and Herbst just came up in front of him. So, yeah.
Austin Dillon in the 10.
Damn it, Riley.
Between some Austins.
It's a tough angle. I'd like to see it from a little different angle. Here you go. Yeah, it's pretty clear. 98 just does not give Austin the room that he expected coming off turn 4.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to just know if he knew he was there, if he thought he got a good run off the corner and was going to clear him, naturally just accelerate it off. Was it clear communication between the spotter and driver?
Riley.
That doesn't look like a mistake.
And the
Riley
wall.
Like out of control mistake. He just moves to an area of the track that's owned by the 10, and I don't believe Austin Dillon, he doesn't have to give that spot. He's far enough up in the bumper. I think that's fair to try to contest, Marty.
Yeah, and Steve, I did hear Tim Fedewa, the veteran spotter who spots for Kevin Harvick in the Cup Series and spots for Riley Herbst in the Xfinity Series, say several times, outside, and he had been racing Austin Dillon for quite a while. So here's the question. Can they get this fixed?
Outside. No, I'll just come up anyway.
Riley Herbst came in +6, went to +40 at one point when Parker Kligerman had his issue, and right now he has tumbled back down, now just plus 11. And same thing applies as we talked about with Justin Allgaier earlier, Steve. Not a lot of time here to short track in New Hampshire to get all these repairs done on the 98.
Yeah, not a lot of time. I do like that system, though. Cut it away and drop it on the block. And you see why that time is so quick, right? Pace car's all the way back around. I'm kind of taking a look at this. Oh, I want to see who is coming. So the 10's going to come. He probably thinks he has some left front damage. This would be interesting to see it kind of full speed. You know, it's slow down. It seems just.
They don't think they have left front damage. They know.
Full speed off the corner, right? If he just is chasing his car or decides he's going to clear the guy.
Into the wall goes Riley Herbst. The caution comes out. 6 cautions already today. 5 different leaders. Hunter Nemechek's been out front the most. Sammy Smith's out front now.
Yeah. By Austin Dillon's logic, he should be suspended there. Even though it wasn't his fault. I'm sorry, Austin. We're just going by your logic. So I would recommend the strawberry frosty from Wendy's, in case you're wondering. Now, time to dig into my actual food. I got a Baconator, some fries, and a few spicy chicken nuggets. Because I'm like 8 years old, never stopped eating nuggets. How the fuck does that nugget look different than the rest? All my spicy nuggets are like orange, and this one's just brown. Yeah, it's not a spicy. Well, yeah, it's not a spicy nugget. The rest of them are spicy nuggets. The jokes, they're all orangey. Spicy. Lol, they're still advertising the cup race for tomorrow at 2:30. Not happening.
Brought to you by Pods. If you're moving this summer, save
But I get another free Sunday.
Pods.com today. An overcast day, and want to take a look at the Ruoff Mortgage keys to victory.
Well, 94 laps to go. When is the final pit stop? Gas only, 2 tires, 4 tires is going to be an important decision.
Restarts try to pick up spots, but as we saw, you also have to survive them. And then these two, they kind of contradict each other because I got to get through traffic, Steve, but you also want me to do it with what?
Well, I want you to get through traffic, and then when you're ready to lose your mind, I'm going to try to talk you off the ledge, give you a little bit of patience to not damage our car, keep our fenders straight. I know it's only a 1-mile track, but those fenders are going to help the thing turn. Let's not knock them off early.
Patience. You just said it's only 94 to go, and then we said patience. Like, those two don't go together.
I'm having a hard time hearing Steve talk about patience in traffic because we've ridden to a racetrack for the past 10 years, and I don't know if he's ever seen patience with traffic. As Sammy Smith.
Green flag. Sammy Smith. Kind of. Ooh, man, the 2 had the 18 jacked up there. He went, but the 2 went before he did behind him. Jacked him up. Nemechek takes the lead from the bottom. And that should be the race. Brandon Jones slides in front of Sheldon Creed.
In third right now, but he slid through turn 2.
Look at the mess behind him.
What a clusterfuck.
This is where patience comes in.
There are several clusterfucks going on right now. calling cars 3 wide with Hill.
Right now, I want you to pass guys and then be patient after you do it. No, you are right, Rick, because you need a foot, 2 feet. You need something, and another driver's going to try to take it from you, especially on corner exit right here. These cars on the bottom, if they had just another foot or 2 to their right, they can accelerate better.
And restart is under review.
Restart is under review.
Before that 18 car.
I think the 18 didn't go as soon as the 2 thought, and I think the 2 jacked him up.
They're gonna look hard at that, and then is the 2. Let's listen.
I think Nemechek and Sammy Smith are clean on that restart.
Yep. Okay, so with the audio, the 20 accelerates, like the car moves first, but on the audio, it sounds to me, Jeff, that the 18 goes to the pedal. He's just spinning the tires. Now, my question to you is, can John Hunter hear that? Can you hear the car next to you, even with like right side pipes? Can you tell?
Kyle Busch says he can hear the car next to him.
Yeah, you can hear it, you can tell it, but also
On I Am Athlete, when he talked about Joey Logano wiping him out at Vegas a few years back, he said he could hear Logano's throttle.
That's all you can get. Don't get more than that.
NASCAR looked at it. They said the restart was good.
That's a good
What I
restart.
was talking about earlier with a car that may be the best car here, we never know, is that 18 of Sammy Smith.
Sammy
John
Smith
Hunter,
running
we
down
know
the
he has
20
a good
now.
car. He's led 54 laps. But then 18 was in traffic, and now they're out there together. He's actually a little behind on tire as we have
Moffitt,
Brett Moffitt,
Mayer, Casgralla, Hemrick gets run wide there.
So now we're going to see if Sammy Smith does match up with the 20 of John Hunter.
Yeah, we saw Casgralla in that 26 get into the side of another car there. A little aggressive. And continuing on the bottom of your screen, I don't know if the aggression has ended.
Remember that patience thing? I think they've gone through that.
They've forgotten.
Yeah.
Well, they're not watching.
Daniel Hemrick in the 11 coming up.
It's a clusterfuck from 12th on back.
Top of your screen, Nemechek just in front of Sammy Smith. 2 car lengths separating the top 2 right now. We had mentioned that Toyota has been dominant here as we take a look at.
Do I see raindrops on the 18s on board?
Sammy Smith running 1 and 2. Joe Graff Jr. in 5th.
Remember, we will race on a wet racetrack. It's a question as to whether or not there's lightning, but I swear I saw some drops.
Reminding him on the radio, you have to be patient. Do not use up your stuff. Another thing to note, I talked to the team and they told me that
And it's getting pretty cloudy.
on John Hunter to learn racetracks. This is Sammy's
No
first
sun
time
out
in
there
New
now.
Hampshire, so possibly putting him in the catbird seat, having used his teammate to gain knowledge of this track, with his teammate the one that he is looking to pass.
Well, we talked about how some teams
See occasional raindrops over 3 and 4.
Sammy Smith won
But
earlier this
obviously
year.
it's like barely anything at all.
Here he is sitting here running second, trying to chase down John Hunter Nemechek.
So, Jeff, my question to you is, as a driver who is so successful here, as we see the 0-0 of Cole Custer.
Woo,
that
Custer,
white
what a
car
move.
Past the 7 of Allgaier in a very beat-up and bruised Branch Chevrolet there. What is John Hunter doing? I agree with the Sammy Smith, don't burn your car up, kind of chasing that rabbit. But is John Hunter able to kind of look through the mirror and gap himself back? And I don't want to say not drive off to a big lead, but actually save a little tire just to keeping Smith far enough behind?
Well, I think John Hunter today, with all the years of experience he
Time to
has,
dig into this
is not
Baconator,
punishing
y'all.
his car, but he's trying to make laps,
Good race,
right?
good burger.
Good.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Because it drives well, you're not asking a lot out of your car. It can make
Excuse
lap
me.
time. I think John Hunter 5 years ago wouldn't have cared. He
This
just would
stream
have
is
driven
sponsored
as
by
fast as he
Wendy's,
could and not
except
worried
it's
about
not.
it. But he's matured. He's an experienced driver.
I'll be
and he's
sponsored by
not
whoever
gonna
wants to
get
pay
further
me.
out on Sammy Smith than he needs to.
We want to make sure that you hear from the drivers that are out of the race that maybe went to the infield care center. One of those was Ryan Sieg, as he was involved in that lap 71 restart incident. And this was just after he came out of the infield care center with Kim Coon.
Saw the pace car parked there way down on the apron near the infield and thought somebody had spun.
After the race, I know on the radio you were really frustrated. You did everything you could during that pileup. Walk us through what happened from your perspective.
Yeah, no, I know the stack-ups always that happen here, and I was prepped for it, and I was like, I laid back, and then I was on the brakes, and then you know what I mean, everybody behind me just never checked up, but it's all product of the 20. Not going on a restart, playing games.
Ha ha!
They're probably one of the fastest cars here at the track. You just playing stupid games and wreck a bunch, you know what I mean, a couple cars out of doing
You hear what Ryan Sieg just said?
Strong work
Ryan
from
Sieg went back and watched that replay and saw what I saw. It was the fucking 20 playing games.
The rule
Well,
is
Jeff Burton, you're wrong.
You have to start in the restart zone. That's the rule. And so, do you like it?
Do you think Jeff Burton would have been pissed if he got caught up in that shit? Go back and watch the replay and see what the 20 did? Ryan Sieg actually said the right thing.
People are upset because they got in wrecks. Oh, this is second car of the weekend. This team can't afford wrecking 2 race cars.
Oh, yeah, he's just upset because he got the right. No, he called it right.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment, and I will give Ryan Sieg a little more leeway than I normally would because it has been anything but a smooth weekend. He drove into turn 1 with no brakes in practice, wrecked 1 car, and now a second car.
Sieg got the potential to win Atlanta last week and comes here and has 2 cars wrecked at New Hampshire, so he's had a rough couple weeks.
He was running today, and he was doing a really good job in it. He got himself in pretty good position, so frustration level pretty high from him. Actually, really high.
Well, you mentioned we talked about the Toyota dominance.
Not just pretty high, really high. But thank you, Ryan Sieg, for telling the truth.
Running in the 5th position, so trying to use this opportunity. Not a ton of opportunities in the 19. He was in it at Richmond as well. Kind of was on the wrong end of the strategy and ended up having a poor finish. But Marty, so far, not smooth for the 19. They had that speeding penalty, but recovered all the way back to the top 5.
Yeah, but Steve, it's worked so far for Joe Graff Jr. Stevie Reeves, the spotter, kind of coaching him through his lines. Jason Ratcliffe helped with a little strategy as well, trying to hold off Josh Berry right here. But you're right. When you have limited opportunities in a good car like this, you have to take advantage. And Joe Graff Jr. only has 2 more opportunities in the 19 this year. So he knew he wanted New Hampshire. That's what we talked about earlier, showing so far running really well up in the 6th spot.
Yeah, Marty started off the
Shout out to Jeff Burton for tripling down.
It's
like, well, Ryan Sieg's wrong.
Only 6 opportunities.
Joe Graff Jr. hanging in the top 5. They got their track position on a strategy call. Worth noting. Not all track position is created equal, you know. Or maybe he's just figuring it out. Riley's still out there running, y'all. I figured Riley failed the DVP, but he's still out there. Can't believe so many people on NBC were wrong today all at once.
Make sure to represent your favorite driver and take advantage of amazing deals at the NASCAR shop. Check out the greatest selection. There's t-shirts, hats, die casts, and much, much more. Visit NASCAR.com/shop today. You're watching NASCAR Xfinity Series Racing from New Hampshire, the Am Better Health 200. 74 laps to go out in front. It's John Hunter Nemechek, and running back there in the 5th position is Joe Graff Jr.
Yeah, we just heard Marty from Pit Road talk to us about this opportunity for Joe Graff Jr. Let's
God damn it.
ride along.
The Baconator's falling apart. I'm trying to drive the car for Joe Graff Jr. because I know he sucks.
Yeah, if we could get to where we get in just a tick deeper into 3, but still maintain your center, that'll help you. That looks better.
So that's
Get out there and drive the car for him. That's your only hope.
Crew chief, engineer, all working together to get some data and then provide that to the driver from the spotter. That's just great work. Young driver trying to find a little bit of speed, and everybody working together to help him.
Jeff, that coaching so needed for a young driver. Stevie Reeves, a veteran spotter, providing that information as we watch the battle behind him between the 8 of Josh Berry and Cole Custer coming up there as well. The one thing they're encouraging him to do, Jeff, is drive deeper in the corner. That's what he's missing, about 2 or 3 car lengths lifting off the gas sooner than everybody else. But how hard is it as a young driver to convince yourself to drive it a little deeper every lap?
Well, I don't think actually driving in the corner, Marty, is the hard part. It's connecting the rest of the corner, right? So if you drive in the corner, a car lane, 2 car lanes deeper, and now it doesn't do what you want it to in the center, then you've overdriven the corner. And I think if you just said, hey, Joe, it's just as simple as driving in the corner deeper, he would do that. But it's not what he needs to happen in the middle of the corner is not happening. So, yeah, I think he'd do it in a heartbeat, but he needs a little bit something different to get rotation with the
Need a different driver is what they need.
Some of the best of your career are
Sorry,
the smooth
he's an
ones.
easy target.
Have highlights or lowlights, and I feel like it's kind of that way for the 25 of Brent Lofter, right? Started 12th, running 12th, making his 102nd start.
All guy
in the
running
series.
10th. His car's it's just too damaged.
So he has experience.
He had a race-winning
Continuing to
car.
build This small team has one top 10 here in New Hampshire, running 12th. Maybe today's the day to get his 2nd.
You use the word experience. The guy running right behind him is Austin Dillon. He's got a lot of experience. He's the 2011 Truck Series
Austin
champion.
Dillon needs to change that hair and that
Series
fucking
champion.
mustache and
He's
learn
been
how to
running
drive.
in the Cup Series ever since that championship. But you look at Austin Dillon, you say, okay, here's a guy who's won a championship in the truck.
Now here's a guy. Hey, we're only like a month away from here, and now here's a guy.
Ever to sweep and be a champion at all. He still is fighting.
Man, I'm ready for football.
Possibly in the Cup Series.
And Daniel Hemrick running 14th. Remember, Xfinity Series champion a couple years ago, left Joe Gibbs Racing, came to Colleague, and here he is today. Started 11th. He got into that incident on the restart on lap 71, and he's done a nice job of recovering that. This team is just a little bit off. They're right there with their teammates, but need to find about a tenth and a half on speed on a weekly basis. They're working hard to get there.
Well, making his first start here at New Hampshire, Parker Retzlaff in the 31 car, the 20-year-old from Wisconsin. Only 27 starts in the series. Started 13th, finished 2nd in stage 2 with some great strategy. Still running inside the top 15, gaining very valuable experience.
Just behind him. At 27.
Man, we're digging deep here. We're looking at 16th place Jeb Burton right now for something to talk about.
The guy sitting next to me is Uncle Jeff Burton, Father Ward Burton. He actually began
Whoa,
racing
Button.
in the NASCAR Wheeling All-American Series at South Boston
There's
Speedway
Daddy's
at the
Whoa,
age of
Button.
16. South Boston, I think they should rename that Burton Speedway because I think
Ha-ha.
you guys have cut your teeth at that racetrack. Dave?
Damn, Jeb loose. Now we're giving Kaz Gralla some love here.
Surprised by Ryan Sieg's loss of brakes going out into turn number 1. Sieg is in the white and blue car, and Kaz will be in the black and blue car. And as the brakes are lost on the Sieg car, he rolls in and tries to scrub the speed off.
That's a fucked up practice wreck. I just saw the C. Gralla practice wreck for the first time.
Kaz told me this morning that as we look back at this year, I've never
Austin Dillon, Cup champion. J.J. Ailey, Formula One champion. We've learned a lot this year.
as good as the one I drove yesterday. And by golly, he's driven from 38th to 17th.
Yeah, good run for Kaz going. A good run, perhaps the career best, right behind him, the 92 of Josh Williams. Trying to improve his best finish here at New Hampshire. 19th, currently running 18th, the 29-year-old. 171st start, but in the Xfinity Series.
Somebody probably saw that graphic of J.J. Ailey, 2009 Formula One world champion, without ever having watched racing before and thought, oh, that guy really is the Formula One champion. So they're going to walk around the rest of their lives going, he really is a Formula One champion.
The first one, great run the second one. Here he is 18th. He can finish it'll be his best finish here.
Yeah, just want to remind everyone, NASCAR had told him to park that car in Atlanta. That was last year. And
you think they told him where specifically?
They didn't specifically tell him where to park it, so he decided he would park it on the start-finish line during the race. He parked it and walked away.
That's one area you don't really need a no parking zone sign.
It didn't go over
clear. That's not where you park.
Yeah, it didn't go over well either because they said go directly to the NASCAR hauler, and then they made him sit in there until the end of the race, which was quite some time.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm impressed with the 7-car mile guard. Look how much damage there is to it.
Like it's prison. Like NASCAR can hold someone against their fucking will. They made Josh Williams sit in the hauler in Atlanta.
That guy's not going to quit. He is going to keep clawing, scratching, fighting to get everything he can. Marty, what do you have on those guys?
Well, it's funny. At one point, Jim Pullman said, "How's the car?" And Justin Allgaier replied, "It's not ideal." So, Steve, look at the points he earned today. 15 stage points. This is why stage racing is so critical. Justin Allgaier may not finish in the top 10 today, but with all that damage, what else would you expect? But those stage points on the left-hand side of your screen, that's changed the game. If you walk out of here with, what, a top 15, Steve, and that kind of damage and that amount of points, you a happy crew chief?
Well, I'm a happy crew chief of the result, but I'm not a happy crew chief on Monday. We're going to sit down and discuss how we got here. You know, I think Justin Allgaier, we heard him early, had a lot of confidence. He had a lot of swagger.
Allgaier made one bad mistake.
But then that's a mistake you don't see Justin make, sliding along in his box. So this is where a new crew chief, and Jim Pullman is his first year with Justin Allgaier, like, hey, should I have helped you? Should I have tried to temper your enthusiasm for the race? How did we get in this position? Like I said, we're human. It's just a mistake. But how can we work together to not make that? I mean, it doesn't mean no good, Rick. You say, hey, just don't do it again. Hey, just don't do that again, right? I mean, how can
don't do that?
Team working together to try to improve at every aspect of the race. Out in front, John Hunter Nemechek with a 4-second
lead with 60 to go.
60 laps to go.
It's turned into one of those Loudon races. We got a clear-cut dominant car. Can't do nothing about it. Be right back. Battle between Cole Custer and Sheldon Creed. Custer takes it and gives Creed a wave. I don't know if that was a sarcastic wave or a friendly wave. Almost forgot about my Wendy's fries.
Tomorrow the Cup Series takes center stage here at the Magic Mile, and I'll ask you guys, is it must-win time for guys like Chase Elliott and maybe Alex Bowman, guys who, we've heard maybe could point their way in, but is this an opportunity that they have to take advantage of?
So I don't know why everyone thinks that this
Creed blocked Chandler Smith down the backstretch there. That is for position.
Like if you have
Oh, Creed's coming to pit road. Scheduled stop. Creed's the first one. First car from the top 5 in.
And they want to be the first to pit last. Sheldon saying it was snappy on entrance, tight center. Exit pretty good though. 4-tire Sunoco fuel. Slight air pressure adjustment for Sheldon Creed on this stop.
So now this is going to be very interesting because first to pit last. Why? Let's put some fresh tires on. Let's try to make up our time on the racetrack. Let's see. This pit road kind of comes up quick. Oh, hand out the window. What? No, don't go to my left.
That's what that block was for. He was just trying to let him know he was pitting. Sammy Smith hits the pit road. 53 to go.
And for Sammy Smith, he was just complaining.
I need a miracle to beat John Hunter.
Rotating on the center. As you see, right front looked slightly slow there on that stop.
Yeah, not a great stop for the 18.
Going in for Sammy Smith on pit road.
Now, while he was a second place guy, normally we would be jumping on the leader like he needs to come right away. The good thing for John Hunter is he had a 4-second lead. So he can take a deep breath, run an extra lap if he thinks he needs to.
And Cole Custer, I've been watching him. He's fast.
Custer's got a good long run car.
Drove away for that 2-car Sheldon Creed, but the 0-0 has run Brandon down. And Cole's been about the second fastest car in the last several laps. He killed.
And for Josh Berry, they have been massaging on the car all day long, just way too tight.
Slow stop for Josh Berry.
Chassis adjustment there. Still trying to free him up. He said, especially on throttle, that's where
Brandon Jones hits pit road from the top 5.
You see the 9, Berry's teammate of Brandon Jones now coming to pit road. That 4.7-second lead that Nemechek had, that allows him to be a little bit more flexible. Dave, the 9 coming at you.
And Jason Burdett told him they were pretty happy with how they had connected the corner. They just tried to work on getting him a little bit more drive off the corners. That's what the driver really wants here. Pretty common problem here at New Hampshire, Marty.
Cole Custer's going to come down pit road.
John Hunter hits pit road.
And his crew chief Jonathan Tony, hey, we are coming here. Now he comes to pit road as Brandon Jones wraps up his stop. He actually said early in the run the car did not feel as good, almost like the back end was swinging around way too much. But boy, did it come along, as Jeff Burton mentioned, Dave.
No changes for John Hunter Nemechek, the race leader. Had that lead. Where will he cycle back in? Ruby Ford Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel for him. Can he win for the second week in a row?
Upper right, you see the 18 is the car we're going to compare the 22 because the 18 is the first one that has pitted. He's about to start finishing. You can see on the graphic, but the 20, he's in the middle of 1 and 2. So here comes Sammy Smith. We're going to have to chase ahead to find the 20 of John Hunter Nemechek because he's already accelerating down the backstretch.
Yeah, he's coming into turn 3 right now.
Chandler Smith, Joe Graff Jr., Austin Dillon, Justin Allgaier, Daniel Hemrick, Parker Retzlaff have not yet pitted. There's some others.
Great view, and Sam Mayer slides into his stall right in front of you, Dave.
I was wondering if he was a little bit too close to the wall there. Let's see how the crew reacts.
He is way too close to the wall.
Just
2 tires for Sam Mayer. Yeah. Put him in a bad spot there. He got too close to the wall.
The only way to move forward was to back up, and Marty just made the decision, hey, this ain't going to work. He's just in there so deep.
And did he flat spot the left sides?
Is right against the wall. It would have been hard to jack the car. It would have been hard to change the left front tire, Dave.
Oh, Joe Graff Jr. runs it till it runs out of gas. Stay out, man.
At the end of this race, the thing that he'd been doing much better that last run, rolling the center of the corner. The team praised him for that. A little bit slow on the right side here as Chandler Smith tries to win from pole today. He was running outside the top group, or just outside, inside the top group, top 5 when he pitted.
Back up to speed, coming off of that number 1 pit stall. Parker Retzlaff, as you see, also on pit road. The 31. Joe Graff Jr. is being scored out in front now. Austin Dillon, 2 seconds behind him.
So the Austin Dillon machine is going to be the interesting one because he was last on pit road at lap 104. I mean, that's 96 laps, but he's had a bunch of yellows. You wonder what kind of Hail Mary they're going to throw in this 10 car.
Call it racing. They trophy hunt. They got Hemrick out. Well, Hemrick just hit pit road, but Austin Dillon can run a little long.
I would go as absolute long as I can and maybe just take gas only and try to catch a yellow.
And Steve, I just had the same thought. waiting there, but there's no sense of urgency. I said, will you need to stop? And they just kind of shrugged and said, we don't know. We haven't heard anything. His teammate, though, Daniel Hemrick, you see on the bottom of the screen, he said tight through the middle, snappy on exit as he finishes his stop under green.
What the 19 does by staying on the racetrack is it takes some guys, and now you're a lap down, right? Chandler Smith.
Why not? Try to get a caution here.
The 19's going to run long.
Or maybe even communication to
The 19 and the 10 are going to run long.
From Jason Ratcliffe, who has won a ton of races here. He has so many race wins, and he's sitting there saying, hey, let's give this kid some clean air. Let's let him lead some laps. Maybe something big happens here, you know? What's a great opportunity for a young guy to be in the spotlight a little bit, feel that, and have a chance to maybe something magical happen. You never know.
Well, because the advantage you have now is if you run long and you get a yellow, while Nemechek has already pitted, he's going to be kind of right at your rear bumper. You know, he's going to either have to come get, or he's now put his last set of tires on. So now you're going to have fresher tires than John Hunter. So you at least find an advantage where you can.
The 8 get by that 19, so he unlapped himself. That was Josh Berry. With him unlapping himself, that means there's 17 cars on the lead lap now, with Joe Graf Jr. still staying on the racetrack out front.
And Rick, I think the other thing Jason Ratcliffe thought in this decision making to kind of leave the 19 out there is the fact that they had finally kind of gotten the line on the racetrack with Stevie Reeves and Jason where they wanted it. And Joe was very happy with what Joe Graf was doing on the racetrack. The lap times have not been spectacular here at the end of the run, but Austin Dillon still almost a second back. Why not leave him out as long as you can?
I like it. I like the call. I like what they're trying. And if you're the 10 right here, you're just trying to, you have a little better fuel. You set right in behind him. And John Hunter back in 5th. He's 14 seconds back. You're trying to run this 10 down the best you can.
How much conserve would you go, Steve, if you're the 10 of Austin Dillon? I mean, if you do try to make it, could you just, go as slow as staying in front of the guy that's behind you?
I would see how much I can save, and can I stay in front of Nemechek?
Austin Dillon takes the lead.
Nemechek is running a second faster, so you can't win the race at this point. So I would run as long as I can, but there's zero reason to run yourself out of gas. Now, I would run out of gas if I thought I could stay in front of Nemechek to win the race, but you don't want to run out of gas for second or third in this car. So running long makes a difference. And with this kind of jumble, we've changed some names, right? You see Williams in 4th, Nemechek in 5th, Sammy Smith in 6th. How about Mason Massey back there in 7th in the 0-8? That's impressive run.
Oh, we got a spinner. Caution. Put it out. The 28 is around at pit entry. What a break for Austin Dillon, Joe Graf Jr., Justin Allgaier, Josh Williams. Awesome.
Back up again. And it looks as though he's going to roll around.
What a great break.
Before he comes to pit road.
We heard from Ryan Sieg earlier. Kyle's the younger brother of Ryan.
Your flat bottom, Kyle. It's a blended tire.
See if that tire advantage can make up some of the difference for Allgaier here.
The floor was going so slow in the corner. I went in. You know, the floor was going in there, so I was going to hit him if I didn't move a little.
Caution came out slightly too early, but, I mean, it's better to get this caution now than not at all. And you usually don't get these kind of cautions at all. Josh Berry spun 28, it looked like.
So the interesting thing here is on the left side of your screen, those drivers like Nemechek, or here's a better way to look at it. Everybody with bright green tires on has put new tires on, but the key point is they've put their last set of new tires on.
So the 10, 19, 7, and 92 are going to have a 11-lap tire advantage.
Joe Graf, Allgaier, Williams, they're going to come in and put their tires on. Now, they will lose a position because Nemechek probably won't pit, but the only advantage they've had over the 20 all day, at least now they're going to have a little fresher tires. We'll see if it'll matter. On only 30
I think it will matter in about 20 laps.
The reset we're getting ready to have.
So the caution comes out for the 7th time today. This one's for Kyle Sieg. He was running in the 27th position, 2 laps down. We saw the little hit by the 8 of Josh Berry that spun him around. Pit road is closed right now as everybody gets in line and position.
This might be slightly interesting. I still think Nemechek wins anyway, but something happened here. Opinion? Well, in my opinion, you're an idiot. No.
So he may be the first first car 1 lap down. We'll have to just see what NASCAR has to say.
And there's a big difference between the first car 1 lap down and being in the lead lap. If you're in the lead lap, you line up, he would be lining up no worse than 16th. But when you get the wave around, you start at the tail end of the longest line. So that's a major difference.
And Herb's back there behind him. You think it's a major difference for him? He goes, man, I was going to get the freedom.
Yes.
I think he was on the lead lap too. Let's put it back up there. Now it's about pit stops, and we're going to see, I don't know, I'm guessing about 10 of those 16, maybe 8 of those 16 cars come.
Interesting caution.
The front 4 for sure. Mason Massey, I just mentioned his name. This is a great chance for him. Only his 3rd start this year, right? And now here he's going to be able to restart somewhere inside the top 50 in that 08 car.
This time by. It looks as though pit road is open, so we'll see how many takers we get. Of course, Austin Dillon, Joe Graff Jr. are on their way. Kim.
And Austin Dillon was going to stay out if it stayed green, but crew chief Alex Young talked off the box, said this changes everything. We have to come. You see the tires going on. Those are actually scuffs. 15-lap scuffs for Austin
Oh,
Dillon.
Joe Graff Jr. sideways in his box. Good God. This guy sucks. Golden opportunity to get a great finish.
With 4, he will go with 4. Meanwhile, on the bottom of your screen, Justin Allgaier, he was 12th when this cycle started under green flag conditions. We'll see where he cycles.
And Allgaier had to fucking really turn sharply around the car in front of him on pit road.
Allgaier needed much more front turn in the center of the corner.
It's been a tough pit road, especially for Allgaier, who had an issue earlier, and now Joe Graff Jr.
Joe Graff Jr., what the hell? This guy's hilariously bad.
We're able to do service and get him back out.
Subway slicing their turkey French, like on the Titan Turkey.
On the streets of Toronto. That's tomorrow exclusively on Peacock. Be sure to tune in and enjoy that one.
IndyCar at 1:30. I might have that on tomorrow.
And they had to deal with a little bit of weather today.
It's the only race you're going to see tomorrow.
All smiles there for Kristen Lundgaard as the field now, after pit stops, are getting back in line. And while we have a moment, let's go back to Dave.
And Rick, you notice that John Hunter Nemechek has cycled to the front now in that 20 car. When I talked to front row John Hunter this morning about his race today, he said we're making little tweaks to get our car right where I need it to be. Practice to qualifying, we made one change. It was good. And I believe qualifying to the race, we're going to do the same thing. I think all day long they've just made this car increasingly better. And now that he's back in the point, John Hunter Nemechek can be hard to beat, Kim.
Well, Dave, twice has Sammy Smith climbed through the field. Once at the beginning, they had to drop to the rear after unapproved adjustments. Then he had a speeding penalty early. Remember, he won Phoenix earlier this year. I asked him, does that give you confidence in this race? He said, no, I'm not confident that we can win. What it does do for me is it gives me a better understanding, Marty, of what I need to just be successful in general at these short tracks.
Kim, keep an eye on Cole Custer. Finally has the track position they've kind of been seeking since the beginning of the race. Sitting in third right now. The team told him, hey, this 35-lap run should play to our advantage. We'll see it.
Custer does have a good little long run car. Are there enough laps to really be a long run? And he's got to get a break on a restart for the first time today.
We're going to find out.
In a good position. More than likely we'll start in the second row. We'll see as they're coming to the choose.
Well, that was the question. I was going to ask Jeff, all right, where are you going? Nemechek top,
Nemechek top, Sammy Smith bottom, Cole Custer top. Let's see if I'm right.
So far.
Nemechek outside, Sammy Smith inside, Creed inside, Custer outside. Austin Dillon 9th, Justin Allgaier 10th. They're on 11-lap fresher tires for whatever that's going to be worth here.
Talk a lot about the points of making the playoffs. Jeff and I were just having this discussion about the small decisions that make a difference, right? Riley Herbst, we saw him getting to the front stretch wall. I thought as day was done, the crew doing a great job of preparing this car. While it looks beat up, they've decided to stay out and take the wave around. That puts them plus 20 above Parker Kligerman, who's out of the race. Now, they might need a yellow, or maybe they could stretch the grass.
Stretch the Steve Letart's having a hard time with the English language today.
Points available. If he can get a yellow, he come in, put on some tires, and keep gaining points. Those are the small things, Jeff, that can change a year.
Races within a race. There's so many cars on track, it's hard to cover it all. But championships get won or lost. Playoffs get made or not by 1 or 2 points. You have to be willing to gamble a little bit. You have to get the very most you can, even out of bad days.
Restarts have been exciting, Rick. We'll see what kind of games are played here.
Yeah, well, Nemechek's on the outside.
33 to go. We're going to get a repeat of earlier. Yep, but not quite as bad. Actually, Sammy Smith spun the tires again. I thought he was going to get turned by Creed. Sammy Smith's been bad, and Chandler Smith just sent the 9 into the 2. Save it. What a save by Brandon Jones.
That was as wrecked as you can be without.
Chandler Smith just dove in there 4 wide like an idiot and almost caused a massive crash, but they all drive away from it. And now Josh Berry has a major tire rub left front. That's a pretty bad tire rub. There's shit going down everywhere, man. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Nemechek, Custer 1-2. Smith somehow hangs on to 3rd. Custer the inside of the 20. They're telling me, hey, he's got to get to pit road. He's got to pit, right? Although that tire looks like it's rubbed itself out. Custer needs it to stay green. Custer needs it to stay green.
That left front, and it pushed the fender down on top of the tire.
You wonder now, it's not smoking like it was. Do you keep going?
That move Chandler Smith made was questionable, but it worked. He passed 2 cars and kept going.
Let's see how it happened.
Sammy Smith spun the tires for the 2nd restart in a row, and Chandler Smith says, fuck it. 9 cars there. He'll help me make the corner. Reminds me of somebody I know. Unbelievable save by Brandon Jones.
It dents it in and is really hard to see, but you can see it here. The seam is broken. That concerns me. The seam is broken right where it should say Goodyear. You only get the first 2 letters, and then it's caved in. I guess the good news, though, is it's maybe on the tread, not as much on the top of that sidewall.
It continues to smoke. It cleared up, but every now and then we see it smoke. I'd be really nervous. I'll tell you, the other loser in that was Brandon Jones. You know what I mean? He was... Looked like to me he and Chandler Smith got together. Chandler was all against the wall on the bottom. Some contact with the 9 car.
How about Jeremy Clements? We haven't said his name, and he's the car to the right of Brandon Jones right there. It's hard to tell.
Custer not really challenging Nemechek up front. We'll see where we are in 20 laps.
So, talk about a recovery.
And Austin Hill, we just talked about, got the free pass. Here he is passing Clements for 11th place. Or trying to pass him.
He wants in the... Wants to play. He wants to get up in the mix.
28 laps remain. And Austin Hill completing the pass on Clements. Now he'll set his sights on the 9 who was sideways, Brandon Jones. He's able to save that after the restart. But Austin Hill really making his way through. Josh Williams up inside the top 10 in that 92. Great run for Williams. Nemechek looking for win number 4 on the season. Out in front. Cole Custer, though, also wanting to add his name to the multi-win list.
He already has. He has 2 wins. Idiot. 2 is a multiple of 1. Bet you didn't even know that, did you? Guess that caution didn't change anything after all. Did for Josh Williams. He's 8th. Allgaier's 6th. It's better than where he would have been. He was 11th or 12th before all that. Sorry again. Did just have my dinner. You know nothing's going on when they're not bothering to show the lead during the break. Josh Williams. Sheldon Creed's free falling here. And Williams has about, what, 12 lap fresher tires?
For the 7th spot on the racetrack.
He's got his hands full. Josh Williams at top 10 in Atlanta.
Custer's a second and a half off Nemechek. Jesus Christ.
Best finish of the season. I mentioned earlier, 19th is his best run here at New Hampshire, and here he is battling Creed for the 7th position.
Newer tires on that 92 car.
Chandler Smith passing Sammy Smith for 3rd.
Chandler Smith getting by the 18. Sammy Smith, not related in any fashion, but that's a surprising pass. Sammy just has not had to pace this run that he had earlier.
Colleague has really got to be happy with Chandler Smith.
20 laps to go.
I mean, he's really, I think, the bright spot for Colleague most of the year. I know they've won much more races with the 10, but they're using Cup drivers and All-Stars. And, you know, this year for the 16 has been really impressive.
Again, he started the day by winning the pole, was out front, and now running in the top 3, Dave.
Steve, I was wondering the same thing about colleagues' opinion of him, so I asked President Chris Rice this morning about Chandler Smith.
Mr. President Chris Ross.
Because he doesn't
He's going to run next year.
Yet. Remember the qualifying run he had yesterday? He came in and he told the crew, I thought that was a crummy lap. It was the pole lap. He was that good. He likes that humility, and he likes the fact that Chandler is going to get better as time goes along. I want to show you some video from yesterday regarding the one of Sam Mayer. We'll show you the teaching hands of 37-year-old Justin Allgaier. And that is 20-year-old Sam Mayer on the right, learning from the veteran here about running at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I asked Sam about that this morning. He said, I'm 1,000% more confident about the race today than I was yesterday. He said, Justin and other drivers told me about things to do when my car wasn't right. Because they said, your car's not going to be right here all day. I'm not doing anything wrong. I just learned what it was that I needed to do when my car wasn't perfect.
And now Sam Mayer is in front of the teacher.
Yeah, he is in front. Both of them, you see the 7's damaged. The one of Mayer, I'm pretty impressed with. Remember, he slid through, all but slid through his pit box, got crammed up against the wall. They could not change the left side tires. So he is out there on 2 tires running in 5th position.
But how about this for Justin Allgaier's teammate after the contact, sliding through his pit stall earlier on, and then the contact on the racetrack once that jam-up happened on the restart. They just won't quit, Jeff. They are in 6 right now.
Allgaier's fighting for a top 5 with that car. Can we get a Checkers or Wreckers diecast of that, please?
When he rolls front brake to it to fix the handling of the race car, Jeff, he's said the
'Cause what a run.
wants to lock up. Is that something that sounds maybe familiar to you here in New Hampshire?
No question. You see he's trying to get on the outside of Sam Mayer right here. But what happens is
With a car that looks like that, he's still better than Brandon Jones.
break into it. But the setups on the car
And Joe Graff Jr.
makes the left front light. And so now if you put front brake to it, it slides the left front tire. It's something we deal with here, Martinsville, Richmond. So yeah, you want the front brake to help the car handle better, but the left front tire, just if you put more braking force to it, it can't accept it, and if you actually flat spot the tire, you can slide it so much.
Again out front, Nemechek has a 1-second lead over Cole Custer. Then is Chandler Smith, Sammy Smith, and Sam Mayer. All the top 5, Allgaier, Creed, Austin Dillon, Josh Williams, and Brandon Jones are the top 10.
And Nemechek's still out by a second. Custer's not been able to make a run at him. Last few laps, Custer's been a little bit quicker.
Custer's cut a half second off that lead. It's down to about a second. 14 to go.
John Hunter, that when he catches traffic, I feel like he feels a little bit of urgency to get by him. Now, the good thing for John Hunter is he has a big gap, almost the whole backstretch to the next group of lap cars.
I thought the race that John Hunter ran last week in Atlanta that's what showed me where he is in maturity. He did not have the best car, not even close. Didn't have the best handling car, but he never put himself in a bad position. Never got the car in the wall. Didn't turn around on him. He just sat there and managed the problem. Other people had issues, and there he was to take advantage of it. That's when you couple that maturity and that decision-making with his speed, that's when John Hunter Nemechek becomes a very dangerous driver to the competition.
You use that word maturity, and I think so many questions have gone around with John Hunter Nemechek, the son of Joe Nemechek. He bounced around, finding different rides. He settled in the Truck Series, won the 2021 Truck Series Championship, and then it was, where do I go? What level do I get to? Do I go to the Cup Series? Do I run the Xfinity Series? And I think this season has really proven that the decision to run full-time with
John Hunter is going to be the next Justin Allgaier. He's going to spend his whole damn life in the Xfinity Series.
Leader at 3 wins and potentially could add a 4th today. This has to put him as the front runner for a championship, especially as well as he's running here, knowing that Phoenix is where the champion is decided.
Yeah, because I believe he was the best car at Richmond, and they kind of got a little off on their strategy, which is easy to do at that tricky track. So I know that talking to John and talking to his crew chief Ben.
Yeah, remember I bet on him at Richmond, and they fucked him. And by they, I mean his crew chief, Ben Bayshore.
More than anyone, just they knew they were that good. They wanted to come get that win, bring that dominant type performance.
Yeah, and let's talk about Ben Bayshore also, because they are in very similar situations, right?
10 laps to go.
Nemechek ran a full year in
About a second. That's back up to a second and a half.
They both gone back down a ladder, a step on the ladder, right? Nemechek went to the Truck Series for a while. Now they're both in Xfinity Series together. So can this duo, much like we saw at Gibbs with Ty Gibbs and his crew chief moving up to Cup, can this duo at the next opportunity go up together? And that's something you'd like to see. You like to see drivers and crew chiefs.
Oh, Parker Retzlaff has blown a right rear. Caution out. 10 to go.
Bringing out the caution. That's 8 cautions now.
Hard hit.
And a restart, and it's going to be a sprint to the finish.
Oh, boy.
And that's not what John Hunter needs.
You thought John Hunter played some games on a restart earlier. Imagine what he's going to do on this next one.
Pretty heavy damage to the 31. I'm not sure anyone of the leaders have any tires left that I'm aware of. Oh, right rear tires down. I don't know if that's a before or after situation.
Let's take a look how it happened.
Oh, he's already looked sideways into the picture.
He had a right rear go down.
I feel like that has to be a right rear tire going down. I just don't see him spinning that early. I mean, you look at the tires already almost off the rim. I'm not sure if it could go down that fast as he spun around. Hard to tell from that angle, but that would be my guess at what happened.
AMR safety crew immediately there to help
And
out.
he's okay.
As he climbs out of the car, he'll make the
Hopefully.
trip into
Looks
the
okay.
care center. See a thumbs up there.
Had a good race going, too.
This late in the race to have that kind of problem.
All right, who's best on restarts?
Well, listen, John Hunter has led 100.
I want to see what Chandler Smith does. That 4-wide move that nearly wiped out Brandon Jones the previous restart. I'd like to see him repeat that, but actually hit the 20 car.
I'm telling you, we've seen it here so
People must think I'm such a John Hunter hater,
in Atlanta.
the way I've talked about him today.
So easy to spin the tires. So now you got to do it on hot tires. So you just can't step on the throttle. If you go to wide open, you're going to look like a top fuel dragster. You're going to have smoke coming off. You're not going to go anywhere. You have to time it right. John Hunter seems to want to wait very late in the zone so people accelerate quick. Maybe this time he'll go nice and early, trying to catch everybody off guard, but it's going to be really, really tough to restart here.
We saw the tires up on the wall there. Is that somebody playing a little poker?
Well, I mean,
hey, I'm going to show you tires, but we're probably not coming.
Well, Josh Berry will probably come. He has a damaged left front fender. He's almost last car on the lead lap. Probably put some colder scuffs on. Remember, earlier those stages were pretty short, so you have some older scuffs, but I don't believe Cole Custer in the 00 is going to pit from second. No, I think you stay out on these tires.
Pit road is open. We'll see if anybody chooses.
Nobody's pitting here.
So far, no takers, Rick. Let's chat with Jonathan Toney, crew chief for Cole Custer. So
We got Austin Hill was pitting from 10th.
How do you feel about a little restart and a short run here, though?
Yeah, for sure. You know, the Automation car's been really good on the long runs and got some laps on our tires now. Got a caution. Think we got the best.
I tell you what, man.
In the Xfinity Series, so we'll go race and see what we can do here.
Is this where you hope his experience in the Cup Series pays off on a critical restart like this?
For sure. You know, at the end of the day, when you got a driver at Cole's caliber, just got to put him in a position. You know, we got him in a position, and so, yeah, we feel pretty confident about our chances here.
This is going to be fun to watch. Custer's needed those long runs to kind of take off, Rick, but this short run, we'll see if it pays off, and the restart's going to be huge here.
Yes, it will.
I spoke to Jonathan a few weeks ago, sat down and spent quite a bit of time with him, and if you want a Cole Custer cheerleader, that's your guy, because that guy believes wholeheartedly in Cole Custer. He told me that Cole Custer is the best driver in this series, and that Cole makes his job way easier. Jonathan said, I get him something close, Cole's going to drive it to the front. He had supreme confidence in Cole Custer's ability.
All right, so we talked about the choose a little bit ago, and you kind of cheated. It only took the first 2 cars or 3 cars.
Well, I mean, what do you think?
He took 3 cars,
So
and then he stopped.
talk about not only the choose, but Jeff, take me into these drivers, cleaning the rear tires off. We see him
Chandler Smith, dive bomb for the win. Go.
If you're the leader versus the guy in second, what's your mindset?
Pray for whoever's behind Sammy Smith. He spun the tires on every restart I've seen him have up near the front today.
That the restart zone is very, very slick. He knows you're going to spin the tires. Cole Custer, he's won here before, so he knows it as well.
So Riley Herbst getting a free pass.
I don't think he has that experience. He doesn't understand how bad the tires are going to be spinning on this restart. Sammy Smith in the second, also next to him. So the second row, I think that's where the not understanding of how the rear spin on old hot tires, how bad that can be. Nemechek and Custer, they should know it. But what do you do? How do you do that, right? And if Nemechek, in my opinion, tries to go late in the restart zone this time, like we saw him do earlier in the race, that's a disadvantage to him, because then you're having to launch at a high rate of speed. If you launch earlier, then you can accelerate a little bit cleaner and try to keep those rear tires from spinning. So if I'm Nemechek at this time, I'm going early in the zone. I'm going to check up a little bit, make them think what I'm going to do, but the second I get to that restart zone, I'm going to start accelerating.
Okay, there you have it. The strategy is out there for the
We had to drag it out of him, Rick, but he finally told us what he would do.
It's better be 1 to go so we can restart with 4 laps.
Yeah. Is that what you're going to do with the pace car tomorrow?
To be clear, I lost more than I won.
That's what everyone has, by the way.
All right, so once again, I agree. Nemechek would take the top. Custer definitely the bottom. And then we'll see what the pair of Smiths do behind them.
All right, we will restart with 4 to go. Nemechek outside, Custer inside, Sammy Smith inside, Chandler Smith outside. I'm surprised by Chandler Smith taking the outside.
It's going to be 4.
Use that bumper, Chandler. I dare you. You want it, go take it.
Yeah, hopefully we get a good restart here, and there's a lot of laps on tires spinning the top. You're probably going to see some guys buzzing tires, so hopefully get a good launch here and get out front, and then kind of dictate where we need to run our line. So I think I like our chances.
I There you go. Likes his chances up front, and John Hunter has been up front all day long, but we'll see how he does here on this restart break.
He's gonna have to close it out.
Ben's a quiet guy. You know, he's a really cool guy. I like Ben a lot.
See both the front row just accelerating, kind of trying to spin those rear tires, get the dirt, debris, and the loose rubber cleaned off from right around under yellow.
Don't have to worry about heating them up. They're warm. All right.
4 laps to go.
What can they do? John Hunter Nemechek, he's been out.
Chandler, I'm begging you, nail this restart. Hell, Custer, I'm begging you, nail this restart. Chandler, ooh, Sammy spun the tires again. And Nemechek went earlier in the zone than he has all day. That was a good decision by him. And he's back out front, I think, with the race won. Sam Mayer just got spun. Austin Dillon's in it. Joe Graff Jr.'s in it. Caution's out. And Brandon Jones is in it now. We're going to overtime. Because the 18 doesn't know how to fucking do a restart. Connor Mosack in his second wreck of the day. Joe Graff Jr., that car is on fire. Wow, he really is on fire. Fire one out. False alarm. Nemechek nailed that restart. He's got to do it again.
Multiple times how difficult the launch zone is. 98 car with, I couldn't tell if it's more damage or not. Connor Mosack with damage.
Now Joe Graff's back on fire. Time to stop and get the hell out of that thing. He's well off track, so stop and get out.
It looks like he's back up again, and so he's going to climb out, take another look at what happens.
I think it's contact between the 18 and the 1, so you see the 7.
Actually, it was the 7.
The black and gold car.
Oh, yeah, Chandler Smith. I mean, Sammy Smith spun the 1. Allgaier drove was inside, but he had nothing to do with that contact.
Sam Mayer goes. I mean, they're on hot tires, old tires. There's not a lot of grip on this racetrack anyway. So let's take another look.
The top 3 completely got away because the 18 just stacked everybody up behind them.
The 18 just gives him a shot.
At least now the 18 won't be anywhere near the front.
Yeah, remember the 1 car is on 2 tires. I don't know, everybody else had 4 tires. They're all old, but I don't know if that hurt the speed of the 1 car, and it was just a misjudging.
Right here, bumper 7, still outside, now inside. Middle here, middle, get wrecked. All right, come on top. Yep. Yellow here, yellow.
Listen to the throttle as we go on board again with Sammy Smith. Went to the throttle for just a second and came back off of it. Again, I just think a misjudgment of the speed of the 1 car.
I agree. I mean, did he cause
what a mess?
Did he intentionally go in there and wreck the 1? I don't think that was his goal. I mean, you could definitely tell they were slowed up because the 7 roll on the bottom was kind of passing them both. So, I mean, listen, if you're saying
shakes the field up again.
They're gonna have to it after.
Jeb Burton in the top 10.
A lot of people aren't happy. I mean, look at all, a lot of damage from a lot of different cars. But just thought the 1 was going to be going quicker than he was.
So a lot of work for.
And we're going to overtime.
Back out on the track for overtime from New Hampshire.
Yeah, Sammy. I mean, he didn't try to junk anybody. He just, like they said, misjudged the speed of the car in front of him, and it's 4 laps to go. He went. Hit the 1, spun him, and took out a bunch of other guys. Sam Mayer's just not had a good time in the Xfinity Series. Give me 1 fucking second. A lot of speed draw.
That means another restart. Well, it has been eventful for restarts today, guys.
We've seen the 20 of John Hunter in most of them. He's led a lot of laps, and early on. A nice clean restart.
There's Sam on Sam violence.
You're the leader. You accelerate nice and clean and easily clear the guy in second.
All right, let's show the opposite of that. That's right here. Just a big stack up. The inside line did not get going. Just a chain reaction wreck.
And then wheel spin. You see the car on the inside, the 18 just spinning the tires and can't get going. The two's pushing them. Then the 9 goes in and gets contact by the 16. And then full-on drift.
The latest one we saw driving to turn 1, everything looks pretty calm. And then right here, 18 car in the back of the 1 car. Big spin in front of the field. Many cars got collected. The common denominator in every one of those is the inside line not being able to go. So if you watch restarts here and you watch those restarts,
Jeff Burton still dick rotting John Hunter Nemechek. So the only common denominator in those restart races today is the inside line just not going.
what lane do you pick?
Nah, that one had nothing to do with. Never mind. I'm over it. I'm done with it.
Be on the outside. I'm gonna give the 0 the
Jeff
ball.
Burton's a
I'm gonna
fucking
go with the
idiot.
20 and try to launch with him, enter turn 1 on his rear bumper, rough him up a little bit and try to get the win, because we haven't seen anybody on the inside be able to go into turn 1 side by side with leader. So why not try something different, Marty?
Yeah, let's ask Bruce Schlicker about that. So your young driver's up there in second. Has there been debate about what lane to choose? Because obviously the outside worked pretty well for you there.
Oh, man, I think it's just front row. P3, the outside's definitely the way to go, but give yourself a shot on the front here.
I know he made that inside work 2 restarts ago.
A couple clean laps and bring a top 5 race car home. Wherever we finish, we'll take it and be happy with the day.
I know Chandler has asked for some medical help after the race. Can you update us as to what's going on?
It's hot and humid out here, so he just needs some fluids, get rehydrated there at the end of the race, but I know he's digging deep right now, so we got all the faith in the world in him.
There you go, Jeff. You know what? On a final restart like this, with
Hot
the race on the line,
Chandler
I think
Smith's
you can
asked
do pretty
for
much everything.
medical assistance when this thing's over.
Is alcohol for
After we get 30 overtimes. Why are we not getting the one to go there?
Marty, and I think that, you know, hot, humid, sticky, that it is very hot here. This is a high-braking racetrack, a lot of temp in the cars, but with a chance to win, all that goes away. And you just got to focus on this. It all starts with this restart, Steve.
So I like, because there was an interesting interview, because I heard 2 different sides, which is, I agree with your chance to win is to start in the front row and hope John Hunter spins his tires or make a mistake. But then he said we just want a good solid top 5, and I think your best chance at that is starting on the outside row and follow the leader. I think you end up second. So if you decide to start in the inside row, I think you're going to lose second spot if you don't win the race. It's like, you know, it's kind of a tough decision. You have to decide what your priority is, but I like the risk and try to win.
I do too. I like the inside line, but you know, it could be a little tempting to try something different.
John Hunter Nemechek has been the best pretty much all season long, spreading out all 3 of his wins already.
I took a gamble on myself and step back from the NASCAR Cup Series and try and revamp my career.
Hammer down, checkered flag, and John Hunter Nemechek wins. This is one of the best opportunities that I've had.
And we're still not getting the one to go.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate everything that you guys do.
Second one of the year. Let's go in dominating fashion.
Nemechek is going to win in Atlanta.
Hell yeah, boys!
I'm blessed with the situation that I'm in.
Yeah!
Best position he's been in racing. Joe Gibbs Racing in the Xfinity Series, running for a championship. You see his numbers. Average finish 7.8. Very few times has he been outside of the top 10. Matter of fact, only 3 times. A 27th place finish at Coda, Talladega 32nd, and a 16th at Sonoma. Everything else has been inside the top 10 for John Hunter Nemechek.
Well, he's got another shot right here.
The sun is coming out again. So much for that weather. Although, stay tuned for that tomorrow.
A few laps to go. Exactly what he's going to be doing. We're coming to the choose right now.
Look at all the names on the left side, too, having good runs, right? You got Alex LeBay and 12th and, you know, some different drivers that are making the most out of a little bit of the chaos at the end of this race. Oh, 16 chooses the top.
He's going to stay behind Nemechek.
Jeff, they must have heard you.
Cole Custer gets that front.
Nemechek, Custer, Creed, Chandler Smith.
So now what's on Chandler Smith's mind?
Running through the back of that 20. That better be on his mind.
It has not launched all day. It's easier to spin your rear tires when you're reacting to.
If Sammy Smith spins the tires again from 5th and causes another wreck, I swear. Park him.
Maybe a half a car length and then try to build some momentum to the rear bumper of the 20. But don't hit him. When you hit the guy in front of you all day long, you've made that car spin the rear tires, and that slowed your line up. So the temptation, Steve, is to push the car in front of you. That doesn't work here on the launch. You can do it past the start-finish line, but if you try to do it early in the restart zone, it will completely destroy that line.
And that's exactly what Cole Custer hopes the outside line does. Make some contact, get some wheel spin on the 20.
It comes down to 2 laps, 2 miles to determine the race winner here. Back in front of the grandstands they come. It's overtime, presented by Credit One Bank.
Custer spun the tires. And they fan out behind them, but Custer spun the tires. Ugh, the 16 got so close to the bumper of the 20, he ain't gonna do nothing with him. Race over. Damn, Creed! Woo! Hang on.
A great restart for Nemechek. He pulls away. He's got over a car length.
Custer made it real easy for John Hunter Nemechek today. Hell, everybody did. Oh! Oh! Custer takes out Sheldon Creed at the white flag. Big crash. Cautions out. Race over. John Hunter Nemechek wins. Creed kind of got loose. Who was that idiot? Kaz Gralla came storming through that crash. The hell was that? Creed and Custer were not cutting each other a lot of slack, and I think Creed got loose. Custer might have hit the wall, that he just hung a left. So, might have to take a look at that one to see if Custer will get a week off. Or if he just hit the wall and lost it and took out the 2. I don't know. We'll see. And John Hunter Nemechek takes the checkered flag. Austin Hill looks like he's going to finish 3rd.
To the checkered flag with the caution waving.
Had to throw the yellow there when they were wrecked at the start-finish line. Whew, it's hot. Get them out of these cars. So, off of 4.
Outside of the 2, and it looks to me like the 2's going to try to take them all the way up the racetrack. And I think Custer's made the decision.
Ooh, Custer got loose and took him out. He didn't mean to do it. Custer got loose, came off the wall, and hit the 2. And look out, everybody.
I think there's definitely a disagreement between those 2.
Yeah, this post-race might be interesting. Just a racing deal. I mean, it was hard racing. Riley Herbst got junked there again. Josh Williams got junked. That angle really doesn't show how loose Custer was off of 4. The angle looking at him down the front stretch sure does. Oh, just an all-guard.
And then you just see the stack up behind him. Oh, Josh Williams in the 92. Does he keep going? Oh, he kind of does. He sneaks through right there.
The 98 car.
Curious to see how NASCAR scores this one, where they place guys for their finishing position.
Here he comes.
And John Hunter Nemechek wins.
Burnout. John Hunter Nemechek does some donuts at the start-finish line.
I'm worried Custer and Creed might throw down.
Back into turn 4.
I'm worried. I don't want them to. As entertaining as it would be. It was just an accident.
To the top of the hour for NASCAR America post-race. Here's the race winner, John Hunter Nemechek. In just a moment, his 6th career win. 10 cautions in this race. Most of the cautions came on restarts. They were difficult today. But not for John Hunter Nemechek, who was out front for 137 laps today, meaning he was dictating when they would go on those restarts. The 190
John Hunter brake check wins at New Hampshire.
Getting close to that magic number 200, Dave.
And now John Hunter, after giving the folks in the grandstands a nice look at the winning smile underneath the helmet, we'll get a look at the winning smile without the helmet on. And a dominating
Show me Custer and Cree. What's going on over there? If anything.
137 laps led today. I believe that was somewhat of a statement to the rest of the team.
Remember when Custer and Tyler Reddick had their wrestling match?
Man, I am so proud of this whole 20 team, everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing. Just thankful for the opportunity. Thank you, Jack Irving, Tyler Gibbs, David Wilson, so many people at Toyota, the whole Gibbs family. Joe Gibbs, wish Chloe was here to celebrate with us. He was a huge advocate for this to happen this year, and can't thank him enough. But man, Persil Pro Clean, this thing looked clean on the racetrack today. Had, I think, our first clean race all year, so that's really good. But hats off to all of our guys, everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing. Our Toyota GR Super was as fast as Xfinity 10G, that is for sure. So happy birthday, Mitch. Happy birthday, Brian Gainey. Hopefully we can celebrate their birthdays. And Taylor and Aspen are here. They're home. So hi, Aspen. Hi, Tay. We'll celebrate when we get home. And huge shout out to all of the fans for being here. This is an amazing crowd. I love coming up here. And then one more huge shout out to another driver. He knows who he is. We've been texting quite a bit this weekend, and he's one of the masters here. He may be on the pole for tomorrow, so good luck.
So, given that, you had late race restarts that were very, very good, but you didn't need them. You had a huge lead, and then you had to survive those last restarts.
Yeah, we definitely did. I was a little worried there on the last restarts. We kept getting really good launches, and we were able to clear them, but I didn't know who was saving what. I was trying to save in front of Cole until he started pushing there. He definitely was going to give us a run for our money, but hats off to all the men and women at Joe Gibbs Racing, everyone at Toyota TRD, and just blessed to have this opportunity. I'm the lucky guy that gets to sit behind the wheel of this 20 car every weekend.
And you can say Seabell's name. He helped you out.
yeah. Thank you.
All right, Christopher Bell helping out John Hunter Nemechek. Nemechek with the victory today. And what about tomorrow? We shall see. Another 20 car, Rick?
Not tomorrow. It'll be Monday.
Could be a sweep of 20s. We know John Hunter Nemechek. It was an impressive performance. The finishing order will be unofficial until NASCAR determines where a few of those cars that were involved in the accident end up getting put together. But Nemechek, the winner here.
Oh, hey. Buying a car from Vroom.
Well, I guess I'm out of here. Might come back and stream something tonight. Stick around. You never know.